All right, so it's still May. What does that mean?
Warmer temperatures, more mashes, and your opportunity to win a still.
Still giving away a still this month. The Mile Hi 8-gallon Dual Purpose Pro. Great still. Been running it for years. An awesome still. We're running it again this week, and we're going to give one away at the end of the month.
I'm super excited about it, super jacked up about it. Hope it goes to a good home that will treat it fairly and always run it and take care of it and look after it.
Maybe worship it a little bit.
Maybe, well, yeah, sure. So what do we got going today, brother?
This is the 24-hour turbo wash that we did. The easiest, the fastest sugar wash I've ever made in my life. 24 hours, it was ready to run. Dextrose, turbo yeast.
Pretty remarkable, really.
That was it. Yeah, it was fast. It was chewing through sugar at a rate of 3.3 points per hour.
I'm sure I may have seen it before, but I don't know that I've ever seen an airlock fighting for its life as hard as it was on top of this.
Right.
I mean, that thing was like a damn little... I mean, it was just like a little turbine.
A little motor.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we start firing this mash off into our pot? I think we're going to pump it out, too.
Yeah, let's pump it so we can...
Well, there she is, all buttoned up, man, in all her glory. Takes no time.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing that's nice about the tri-clamps, man. Don't get me wrong. I like pasting an old school Olympic every once in a while. There's things to be said for that,
Sure.
but, man, there's also something to be said for,
Quick
hey,
and
I
easy.
feel like running in about 5 minutes.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, so this is it. She's ready to go. If you want to win one of these stills right here, we're having a drawing for the month of May. The entries are just go to the Still and Clear website. Any purchase on the Still and Clear website gets you an entry. Kit purchases get you a double entry. And then tonight during the live, 5 gifted memberships to the YouTube channel get you an entry. So lots of ways to enter to get your chance to win this beautiful bad boy right here.
We're jacked up about it. We hope you are too. Thanks for watching the little behind the scenes, what goes into the pot, listening to us about the still.
Yeah, and if you, if you want to find out more about this particular still that we're giving away, we will put a link in the chat during the live to Mile Hi Distilling, this particular product page, so you can go check it out and see just what it is you have a chance to win.
Yeah. Grab a beer. We'll be right with you. The other day on the ride into work, like, I have not been to a commercial zoo since I was probably I don't know, like a kid or something.
Yeah.
Do you think they've changed much? They pretty much, I mean, they seem like kind of like a timeless place.
Yeah, I imagine they don't change a lot over time.
No, I mean, how much could you modernize that? You know?
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, Oklahoma City Zoo got an aquarium, dolphins and shit. It was like a big deal for a while. Yeah.
That is pretty dope.
Yeah.
Just have some dolphins. Like, how much money, how wealthy do you have to be, or how wealthy is your business that you have dolphins?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, we are back joining you for another Thursday ABV Society Live. I'm Zach. That's Cyrus. How's everybody doing? Pause for
everyone to say, hey, great.
Got the old Mile Hi there back behind us fired up. Running that turbo liquor.
Yeah, turbo yeast.
I was pretty impressed with that stuff, honestly.
I mean, I was absolutely impressed with how freaking fast. Because
we've used the 72-hour, maybe it was the 48-hour before, and it was it was done probably in 48 hours, but it wasn't done.
Yeah, and we were using it on that ferment that we were having trouble with, and so we thought, let's throw some turbo in there because it's got all the additives and everything.
Yeah,
and it did bring it back to life.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, So.
Pretty impressed with the turbo yeast in general. We'll see if there's some sedentary effects of using the turbo yeast in terms of flavor. I haven't tried any of this run yet. We just got the 1 quart come off at 145 proof, I think it was.
Yeah,
right?
145 on jar 1. Just pulled it off. So
pint numero uno about to come off the old still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think by the smell of the heads by the smell of the first jar, it's pretty typical heads jar for like, a sugar wash.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem much different to me at this point.
Motor City Hellbilly says, run it. Good to see everybody. Clinton, Garbage Stone Daddy, Jason, NFT, Ray, Double Portion Farms, Whiskey Rebel, Motor City again, Whiskey Rebel again, Ed Clifton, and Poison, man. How's everybody doing, man? I've been seeing a lot of chatter. It looks like everybody's getting up and running a bunch here lately.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
A lot of mashes.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Hager.
Already.
Pew, pew, pew. Grabbed an entry there.
There's an entry.
Hagar.
Good job,
I think,
Thank you.
actually.
Thank you.
I think it's Hagar. I said Hager before, and I think I was...
Angry Ape got one.
John Reed, Angry Ape, Aaron M, Samantha Hallburn, Nick Truitt. I think we've seen Nick Truitt in here before.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Miles McMillan says, thanks, guys. Hell yeah, you're
Thank
welcome.
you, Miles. Doesn't know.
It's a Mr. Anderson. Yeah. David over there in the Moonshine for Beginners group.
He said, get flagged again.
What? What's getting flagged?
I think he's
What are we
talking about
talking
maybe
about?
the memberships.
Yeah, probably just the memberships.
Oh, gotcha. That's all right.
How's everybody over on TikTok land? It's good to have you with me. Adam, do we got the TikTok chat over here in the other feed?
Got 2 TikToks. 2 people over there.
I'm seeing it tracking them. There it is. Got it.
Well, we got on a little HBC light
I was
tonight.
just about to say,
Oh, yeah,
man,
the
look
beer
what's
finished out. Got
back.
it bottled.
I admit they go down pretty smooth.
Very good.
Nice bottle of suds.
Clinton says you won't get flagged this week. YouTube will have adjusted for increased memberships.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
Jar.
He seems to know about all this YouTube stuff.
Thank you, Jason.
Miles is running an all malted wheat bourbon today. Or not bourbon. Bourbon is not in there. I just said bourbon. All malted wheat. Nice.
Look at that.
Definitely still heads, but regular sugar shine. Nothing.
I was doing the old finger taste maneuver over there earlier, and
Oh, yeah.
it seems, this little dab I got seemed pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's cool. Got some cool stuff planned for tonight. I think we're going to try the ever elusive. Adam, can we get a nice little tight shot of this bad boy? This wasn't hastily printed 20 minutes before the live or anything. You guys are wondering. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Hen's Teeth, 50%. Trucker's favorite, 50% Hickory King White. Proof down to 90. Aged on 2 oak staves at a half gallon for a little over 2 weeks. Didn't take long. Got there. I think Cyrus and I were both in agreement. Get it off the wood.
Yeah. That was a quick transformation on that one. And some bubbles for you. Hopefully Duke is in here. He's loving this part right now.
Duke's a bubble man. Huh?
All right, everybody's throwing their guesses in. 145, 156, 141, 155 again.
Yeah, Clinton, it's an even rarer hen, the elusive male hen with teeth. He said, is this a 10-speed transmission hen?
$110, $140, $135, says Ed. So, yeah, we're running another live stream with the 8-gallon Mile Hi Still. Since we're giving that away this month, not that one, a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're giving one of those away this month, we're going to be running it every live stream in May. And so, yeah, go check the Mile Hi Distilling 8-gallon dual purpose pro. Got some links in there if you want to go check it out, see what you could win.
Just look at it.
Everybody's excited about winning that still. I don't blame them.
Yep. That's a good rig, man. I mean, what you've ran on this thing for what,
2.5, 3 years. I'm not sure when I got it, but 2.5, 3 years I've been running it. Probably have run this still more than all my other stills.
Yeah, point. I mean, I definitely think from the live perspective, it does seem like we kind of run it a little bit more than.
Well, and it's the versatility of it too. It's like I can run, I can run it straight as a pot still. I can shorten up that column and have less distance in my vapor path to get more flavor. I can pack the column and get just a little more proof. I can add the deflagmator and get a whole lot of proof. It's very versatile. I really like the still.
Got the Duke in the chat. Welcome over from across the pond. Everyone's favorite drunkle, the Duke.
The Mile Hi Deal of the Century. That's right. That's what we called it in the newsletter.
Yeah. Really, gotta give a nice round of applause to the Duke. The writing, I thought, in the MASH this month was like pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was a pretty good newsletter right there.
Professional. Professional.
Yeah. I don't know how many of you in the chat are getting the newsletter, but it's a monthly newsletter. It's free, and there's always good stuff in there thanks to the Duke. And it's pretty simple if you want to sign up. Oh, Adam's already dropped the links. If you want to get that newsletter every month for free, just click that link and go subscribe. It's that easy.
What's up, Kevin? How are you, brother?
Kevin Thomas.
Shout out to the man himself. If you don't have TikTok, you need to go over there, download the app. Go give Kevin Thomas a look.
Hell yeah.
Boy's got some pipes. I left Oklahoma riding in a Pontiac.
Yep.
Boy, he's a killer.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for maybe a third of his streams on Spotify.
Yeah. We do listen to him quite a bit in here.
Yeah, man.
Just on Spotify. Just put it on.
That's great. Mashing music, still music.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
And he'll be here for the Shine On Festival playing his tunes for us.
Yeah. Yep.
So
looking forward to that.
Exciting.
Oh, what else we got going on? We got some Vikings blood over there that we started the must on in September. Little honey, little cherry pie filling.
During the second ABV Society live stream.
There was a note written on the data sheet.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Way back when I think we were still on the phone and Adam wasn't a part of the deal yet. And it was like we didn't know what the hell we were doing.
Still don't. That was 8 months ago.
Tapping the phone.
Now look at us.
Tapping the phone during the live. Is this on?
Hello? Hello? Can anybody hear us? And then it's just a chat full of people going, we can't hear anything. We can't hear you.
Absolutely, Duke. Englishmen are allowed to come to the festival.
Lucas, what's up, brother? Hey, and also tell everybody over on TikTok. If you wanna see the show, it's a lot better over on the Still in the Clear YouTube page. We got all kind of different camera angles and stuff. So if you're watching on TikTok, I highly encourage you, if you can, if you've got the means, right, to go over to Still in the Clear on YouTube and check it out over there.
Get to see all the chat.
There's all the chat. There's a bunch of people that you can't see chatting in a different chat. There's a jar. There's an Atom Cam. All kinds of cool stuff.
Yep.
Luke's doing plumbing. He says, save me.
Save me?
I hate plumbing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And drywall.
I'm not a fan.
Wouldn't have been a good drywall hanger. Wouldn't have made a good plumber.
And drywall is not that bad, but plumbing just drives me up the wall.
Dude,
5 trips to the hardware store.
that's always the thing. I never have the fittings.
Yeah.
Or I'm like the wrong size hose off, or I mean, man, don't get me started. I went to Jaeger 6 times one day fixing my toilet.
I don't doubt
I
it.
had a compression fitting on there, and so like, you know, I think the upper end of what I need to be doing at plumbing is cutting off compression fittings and fitting, soldering new.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing all that. I'm in there. I get like halfway into it where I can't just not finish now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Went to Ace like 6 times trying to get fittings, bringing shit in there, and showing a guy like, hey, you know, I've got this is what I want. I need a T here because I'm going into a wet ball. You know, it's just, the guy's looking at me like, I don't know. It's your house, man. I don't live there. I don't know.
I just stock parts. Why are you asking?
Yeah, what are you talking about, man?
You know, I enjoy going to the hardware store. Usually you can find a guy in there
Older.
knows exactly what you need.
Mhm.
Said you could do this or you could do this, and it's like a totally different thought process. Like you were going in there willing to spend $50 or $100. He's like, no, just do this.
$8, man.
It's $8. What are you talking about? That's my
What, you
favorite
hate
thing
money?
about the hardware store.
Yeah.
In Oklahoma, when I lived in Oklahoma, there was this little mom and pop hardware store. And I don't know if I've told this story already, but anyway, Lowe's moved into town, right? And I had been going to this little mom and pop place for a long time. I'm like, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to double my prices. That's what he did. And he stayed in business because he said, I can answer every question Lowe's can't answer. And he also had like the mother of all small engine repair parts section.
Oh, that's neat.
So if you had any small engine, he was the guy. Yeah.
You got a carburetor for a 1982 Coleman push mower. Yeah, I've actually got several of them, depending on which model and color you went with. I can tell you the corresponding carburetor. There was a guy like that in Hackett, owned a hardware store for 40 years, right?
Yeah.
And you'd go in there. The place is crazy too, man. There's just stuff all over. You know, every little nook and cranny's got something, and it's somewhat organized by, you know, kind of
like wall
Here's
rides.
plumbing, here's electrical, but there's shit all over the place in random corners. And you go in there and you go, hey man, I'm sorry to bother you. I've been 3 or 4 places. I'm looking for this. It's a RV part from a blah blah blah. And he's like, all right, yeah, hold on, come back here and take you back. What you looking for? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You had it every time. It was crazy.
You ever been into wall rods?
Yeah.
Over there.
What is that?
It's a little hardware store over, I think it's called Wall Rods. It's on, what's the bridge from Van Buren to,
The Luckenden 13 bridge?
no, the other one. North of there.
Oh, Midland.
It's on Midland. And he's got, like, the aisles are like just enough.
I know what you're talking right
and
now
it's
from the
just
pawn shop.
packed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's wild. You look through the windows, right, and he's got floor-to-ceiling windows just about full of all kinds of different stuff. Metal
Like oil lamps and
oil
cast iron.
yeah. That's a crazy little place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've enjoyed going in there.
Who is this Zane everyone's speaking of, and why can't I see their chats?
Yeah, Salzane, that was an MFB person for a long time. Yeah. If I'm remembering right.
Everyone's throwing a lot of, it's a bunch of MFB people. Zane. Is the new Pope a moonshiner? I'd like to think he is. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't be. I mean, he's got other stuff going on, sure, but I'd like to imagine our new Pope kind of casually running a little shine in the Sistine Chapel while no one's looking.
Yeah, why not?
Sure.
I like to imagine our new Pope wears a tuxedo T-shirt.
I like to think that our new Pope's kind of likes, you know, he's a good Pope, but he likes to party a little bit, you know. I like to imagine my Pope, you know, maybe running a jar or two.
You're right.
I like to party too.
I like party, and I like my Pope to party.
I mean, they don't let him drive the Harley anymore, but he used to.
Been a Harley?
Kind of in a bubble, little bulletproof glass bubble. Yeah. So What else we got going on? We're drinking the HBC beer.
It's Max Boat Repair, is Saul's name. Okay, that makes sense.
Uh,
Yeah, we got the Vikings blood. I think what we're planning on doing is racking it out of the 1 gallon carboy into a new 1 gallon carboy, and then throwing a wand on and filling some bottles.
Sounds good to me.
I
Sounds like
should
good-
try it too.
I mean, yeah.
Since September.
Yeah, it's been in that bottle since September. I like to imagine the new pope is a righteous gemstone.
Garbage Thrown Daddy with the 5 gifted memberships. My brother. Hold on.
Hell yeah, thank you, brother.
We got Dean
Mr.
Curry.
Lopez got one.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Frequently in the lives. Mr. Lopez. Also, I think I've seen Jeff Turner in here a time or two.
I believe that's probably right.
Hey, Mo as well. I remember we had a Three Stooges little segue we did. First time I think we saw Mo in here.
Ed, I'm not sure. I think the hats are $28. I think.
Good quality cap.
Stilltheclear.com/shop. Scroll down to the merch section. There's hats and t-shirts there.
Mm-hmm. Man, it's a little hot in here.
Yeah. You want me to kick? I'll go kick that on. Kick that air on.
Thank you, Papa.
Has everybody seen the new still?
I don't know.
I mean, I know the channel members have.
Maybe I'll. Bennett said hi. To you.
Pretty wild.
Second camera and show.
We'll carry it over after the first intermission.
We'll have it set up back here.
There we go. Clinton dropping in the link for the hats.
He said later there. He said, "Evening, Cyrus."
What's up, brother?
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So
you should be on the YouTube also, Bennett. I feel like you know that. You've been around here long enough.
you've been around enough already, Bennett. What do we got? There's
We need to run the
51 people in the live stream right now. You guys are killing it.
yeah, that's pretty bitchin'. We need to run the D flag on this thing at some point too, because does it come with a D flag?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we need to.
Maybe next week. Well, didn't we do that last week? Didn't we do?
I know we haven't put the D flag on this yet.
Okay, not this month. Definitely. All of our.
Oh yeah, on the 4-inch, on the 3-inch rather.
On the 3-inch, yeah.
We run it all the time.
Why is Cyrus still showing off my steel, man?
He said, "I'm here."
We're proud of it, brother. We're proud of it.
It's people already claiming ownership of the still. I love it.
Bennett is in YouTube. Winston says, say hi to Bennett from us on YouTube. He's here, hon. Daniel Stevens is Bennett.
He's in there.
I think everybody knows that by now.
Yeah. Got double, multiple, what do you call that? Aliases.
Aliases.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. This is what we're doing again this week. What's that mean? Is that a readily known thing?
I don't know that one.
I was muted. I said nom de plume. Does anyone know what that is? It's a pen name.
Nom de plume.
Ah,
Yeah, I think it's just French for pen name. There's also nom de guerre, but I think that's more like
stage name?
it's like your like if you're a famous commander or something, they call you a certain thing. Like guerre is like a fighter. G
Like a nickname.
Yeah, nom de guerre. War name. Yeah, Rousey said war name. Anyway, nom de plume.
Nom de plume. I hate the French, but they do have some funny little sayings that I enjoy.
So
Compete.
Jason has given fair warning. Next Thursday, someone else is going to have to keep an eye on the jar for me instead of watching the live. I'll be watching Hellstorm, 3 Days Grace, and Rob Zombie.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you had a hailstorm next Thursday. I'm like, that they can't tell that far out.
If you can plan them like that, Bubba.
That's
Be cool. 2 Days Grace also. Jar.
Yeah, we got a couple of drips. Thanks for the warnings.
Your wife's calling another man sweetie in your own shot. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I know what you mean. I get called a lot of names, most of them bad.
Very rarely sweetie, I'm going to assume.
Dipping on pickle shine. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Pickle shine. Did have a guy wander into the shop the other day asking if we had any information on cleaning out old pickle buckets for mashing liquor into them, and I didn't have anything for him. I said consult the internet, basically. I think it's when you were going to get sweet feed. But that might be handy to know if anyone in the chat's ever cleaned out a big old pickle or garlic or, you know, some of these more common pepper. I've heard guys have old pepper barrels. I'd be curious to know if anyone's got a foolproof method on getting that out of there.
We get a lot of those used ones around here because of pepper source,
Right.
Garlic and the peppers and stuff.
Maybe the answer is just run a pickle mash.
There you go. Solve that problem.
Yeah.
Ever cut the home phone service off and still get bombarded with spam? I'm ever cut the home phone service off and still get.
How are they calling you?
Yeah.
How are they getting through?
Maybe they just found your cell phone number, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Georgia Shine's got a 3rd gen sour mash. Be ready to run tomorrow, but I'm going fishing instead. Well, hell, you can't be fishing.
It'll wait on you.
I like a good
It'll wait on you. Baking soda slurry, let it soak till dry. For the pickle jar, I bet. Vinegar water soak on those barrels for peppers, or just accept that it'll be a little spicy for. That's usually what I do. I just accept that next couple runs are going to have a little tint to them, a little flavor tint.
Jason said carrier pigeon spam. You know, it's crazy to think about. At some point, you know, through the history of the Earth, when we were hot and heavy communicating by way of carrier pigeon, there probably were spam carrier pigeons, like advertisements for grain. That other village has been trying to sell us grain.
Yeah.
For 30 years. We never buy it. They keep sending pigeons.
Yeah.
Got a room full of those guys as pigeons. We never send anything back.
Blacksmiths using pigeons to promote their blacksmithing.
Yeah.
Ed's planning on running the super simple mash this weekend. Hell yeah.
Amish stores by me sell buckets and lids for $2 they use to pickle buckets. They're used to pickle buckets. Hold on. They are used to pickle buckets. They're used as pickle buckets.
145 BC, Rome. Waited 3 days for a message. We've been trying to reach you about your extended car insurance.
Yeah. Get a phone call right now, and I'm wondering if that's not what it is. When someone says, Zach, I don't see men. I don't see women. I see shiners.
There you go.
I like it.
Pickle shine equals sour shine. Well, do you want to bottle that? Go ahead and bottle that mead now.
I'm in.
Yeah, let's do it. But first, I'll let you grab that, and I'm going to grab this jar. And we can, or maybe one at a time. I can do both.
Put this kind of up out of the way.
I'll grab it for you.
Oh.
You going to use gravity or just pump?
I'd probably be better off using gravity. Yeah, that's going to be a little too tall. We got a 2-gallon bucket sitting around somewhere. Here's one.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty excited about this Viking bud. It's been waiting on us for a minute.
Oh, dog.
Jar is looking ready. Yeah, got it. Let's see what this jar proofed out to. Oh, the last jar. Not sure I told anybody. 136 on the last jar. Jar number 3. One 132, 138, 130, 131, 134, 128, 134, 132. There's the bubbles. One 126, 125, 155. Oh, didn't put the rest of the shine back in there. 128, says Ed. Need me to tilt that for you?
I was working my way down there to the bottom.
Got it. Fast pace tonight. I'll try to keep up, Rimfire says. Yeah, lots of chats tonight. 52 people in the chat. Appreciate that. Hit that like button if you don't mind. Let's see how many people we can get in here.
I can't really see it too good. You let me know when we're good.
I think that's probably it. No clarifier on this one, just time.
Get a wand.
I'll get you a wand. Here you are, sir. Oh, let me sanitize this for you.
Yeah, they got a little leftover star sand in them. We don't ever worry about getting them all out of there. The old star sand's odorless, tasteless. Make sure you ain't got none of that Dawn down in there.
What was the proof on that jar? Can you?
134.
134. Joe Clemente. 531. First person to say 134.
Man, this stuff smells rich. This stuff was, I mean, did he tell him the starting gravity of this? Starting gravity was 1142, so it should be about 18% alcohol.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
We used EC 1118, and then the upper threshold for that's 18, so
Wow.
I bet you it's every bit of it. would really hammer on you if you weren't expecting it. Is your mic off, brother? Oh, never mind. Sorry. Y'all got anything you've been running? Anything interesting? Weird? I like weird and interesting. $19.17. Yeah, Clinton, I'm basing that off the upper threshold of the EC 1118. It's really only supposed to get up to 18, but you can get a little bit over it every once in a while. Really probably should have took a final gravity on this, but I bet when we taste it, we're going to be able to tell if there's any fermentables left in it, or non-fermentables for that matter, which would not typically register. There was some cherry pie filling in this, and I'm almost certain that there was probably some unfermentable sugar in there somewhere. Bet that EC 1118 got up to 18% shutdown. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull this up, but
Sounds like they're partying next door.
having a little party over there.
Yeah,
They've
they've got Fleetwood Mac going right now.
They have a karaoke night every once in a while over there. All right, I think that's all she wrote. Little vintner's trick there for you. A little bit in the wand. As soon as I started saying, here's how you get the rest of it out, it just kind of stopped going. There you go. There does it. Phew. Okay, here we go. Here we go. God, thank you, brother. All right, man. Got a little bit more out of that than I thought we would. By the time we racked it a couple times, we got down there closer to 3/4 of a gallon, but
All right.
worth it.
Sorry about that. What did I miss? I missed the bottling. All of the bottling. Oh, right here. Let me put that back on.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was having a lot of fun with that. You got a little carried, got a little carried away.
It's all right. Nice. What a great color, too.
Isn't that a cool color? We'll go get us some glasses.
All right. Yeah, so this is from September. What does that come out to? Like 9 months old? September, October, November, December, January, March, April, May. Yes.
Looks like
Nine-ish.
looks like a fine Burgundy port here.
Admittedly, this was the first like mead recipe that I kind of latched onto, probably because of the name.
Very popular.
I think it's just
cool
a cool name.
Well, and you know, mead's closely associated with those hooligans that were just running around back in the day, just messing folks up.
berserking and whatnot.
Berserking, dude. Just going berserk on whole villages with there's no regard for human life or anything. Property rights, much less, you know. I mean, they just pillaged it. Well, look at that. It's like a nice glass of Burgundy port there. That is some pretty stuff. The camera's not really doing it justice, man.
You're welcome.
Give a little zoom there on that. That kind of helps a little bit.
And if I remember right, this dried all the way out, right? Or
I think so. I don't know. I mean,
probably didn't notate it.
No.
Pretty sweet. Probably didn't.
Well, there should be a fair amount of, based off the Clinton calculations, it should be 20.97% or something like that. And our yeast had an upper limit threshold of 18%.
Yeah.
So
there's going to be some sugar.
Should be some sugar.
Yeah, definitely some sugar. Oh, but that's good. Oh, what is that flavor?
Boy. Like a good
English
beer. It does.
What is that? Licorice. Yeah. Something. It's reminding me of something.
Like,
I can't.
Not quite last, but it's
kind of. Yeah.
Like cherry. Yeah.
Maple-ish.
Which makes sense because it was
cherry.
It was a pear. I'm getting cherry for sure, right? Pear? Yeah.
I think I'm getting maple. I'm going to call it maple is what I'm.
I see the maple.
Me of.
Yeah.
Drop a hydrometer in this.
I mean, it wouldn't do any good. Got alcohol and sugar both in it.
What do you mean, a triple scale?
Yeah.
I'll tell you sugar content you have left. Yeah.
Yep.
This is great. It's really good. Also, I have no doubt that it's about 18%. I mean, it's not like it has a strong alcohol taste.
Yeah.
But as I'm sitting here after having been drinking it for a second, you know, you get that kind of
getting flush.
You just sit for yeah. Look at my face.
Flavor, American beer, oxymoron.
Ray said, Zach, you should be using hydrometer.
You're always trying to hurt our feelings with the beer stuff. Man.
Flavor. Yeah, I'm going to drop a hydrometer in this.
I mean, we know how to spell flavor.
Oh, man, we used a whole. I'm not going to.
We'll try and remember on the next one.
Oh, man. Commercial made American beer. Whoa, Clinton. What are you abandoning ship? What is that?
Same price. Any opinions? The Mile Hi 8-gallon Pro you're running now, or a Tiger Shine 10-gallon electric with 5-gallon thump and condenser? Man,
they're two different stills.
Yeah, it's hard to compare this type of still with the type of still that Tiger Shine builds. Tiger Shine builds a great still, thumper still, and these are just kind of a different animal. It's hard to, you're not comparing apples to apples.
Two different of stills to really, you know, a column still versus a pot still with thumper. You know, the D flag and condenser on this being so different, you know, it's kind of apples to oranges.
Like, I think the a standard copper pot still is going to make a better whiskey than this still, but this a copper pot still, like what he's describing, is not going to make a neutral spirit.
And I'll also tell you that when you're new, it's not going to matter. Like, you know,
yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like, you're still, when you're figuring your mashes out, and two, I mean, there's so many trade-offs, right? You're going to be able to run this faster if you wanted to strip it than you are that 10 with the thumper and the, you know.
Yeah.
And so, you know, It's kind of depends on what you're wanting to do and how you're wanting to run most. Most people don't have the. I have to remember this too sometimes when we get talking stills. Like most people have a still.
Yeah.
One still that they run on, and then people that have been doing it a while seem to have the one they started on, and then one that's bigger of some sort.
Or two or three, yeah. And says not jumping ship, but a Coors compared to a small batch homemade lager, there isn't a comparison.
I can get behind that. I'd rather drink these every day of the week. But the problem is, if we like, well, I'm not even gonna. But it would take a lot of beers. Like we just have to have a lot of. We have to be making. I mean, I'm not gonna think about it in terms of gallons, but it would be a lot.
Iron Duke says, I want to come to the festival so you can get your own back. Not understanding the comment. Duke? I don't know. I don't know what you meant, Bubba.
So the wee heavy. Jack not jumping ship. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
We got a Modelo fan, some Corona, fortified beer.
I'm a Bushman.
Sure.
Always have been, always will be. As far as like store-bought light beer, I'm a Bush guy. Followed by Michelob. And then there's all kinds of I love craft beers, right? I love IPAs. I love lagers. I love Hefeweizen. A nice Hefeweizen out in the woods. Pretty nice. A rice beer from down the road, a little second rodeo from Lost 40 Brewing. That's great too. That's more of a lighter beer, but Pilsners, ales, red beers, Kolsch's. I like them.
Duke likes the IPAs. I'm not a big fan of the IPAs myself.
You don't like the hops as much.
It's just too much hops flavor for my taste. I mean, I'll drink them. I've had them, and they're not bad, but I like a little less hoppy, a little less hoppiness.
What'd you do to your head, by the way? I just noticed your head's all dinged up.
Oh, there was a little bump I scratched off of my forehead. It's like a cancer or something. I was like, I got to get rid of this.
This has got to go.
Just scratched it off.
Hilarious.
What are you doing with an amp out in the woods, Zach?
I don't have to answer that. I like a boiler with several still options.
Yeah, that's pretty slick. Like we kind of have that going on here, where we can run several different caps or several different columns on several different pots.
What's crazy with this thing too is, I mean, and it comes with a D flag. We're not running it tonight. We didn't run it last week. We probably will run it this coming week. Just show it in use. But like, you pack the column on one of these full of copper, run the D flag hot and heavy, you can produce a neutral spirit with it.
190.
You can take the D flag off, unpack the column, and do a nice spirit run. Columns seem to run pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. I also had that right after I got this still. I got like a 6-inch, 2-inch tailpiece.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
So I could just run a real short column, just paper straight to the condenser. No
for stripping?
No, it was for a slow run with lots of flavor. Very little reflux. Very little.
Oh, I see. Yeah. What if you did that? What proof are you gonna get off of it?
I was getting like jar one was like 130, 125. Yeah. How many jars should you get when running 6 gallons? That's going to depend. There's a few variables there, Super Maga. You're going to have the AB of your wash is going to determine most of it. How you run the still is going to determine it. And then what type of 6-gallon still will determine it. So a pretty fair rule of thumb is like 20% of your volume. And that, again, that depends on the efficiency of your still, the ABV, but say you're doing 6 gallons, we can end up with like 1.3 gallons all said and done.
And you can think about it this way too. If you have a 10-gallon mash, right? and it's 10% ABV. That means you got 1 gallon of 200 proof liquor in there, swimming around, right? You start running your still, and it's running off 150, 140, 130. You look at your jars, and pretty well be able to do the math of where you're at in your run and how much is left. But I mean, the best way to tell too is just run into your tails, right? Just run the tails out of it.
Yeah.
And I think too, we get a pretty good understanding of. I feel like I'm getting better at gauging kind of yields and stuff like that as I'm watching them come off 130, 136. I'm looking at this and going, all right, we're gonna hold around 130 for a while, and start 20 and 118, and just kind of start falling down, and that's probably gonna be, I don't know, 9 or 10 jars in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also depends on your cuts, how stingy you are on your cuts.
Tighter
It's going to
cuts.
affect your final product. And then after that, what are you going to proof it to? 80 proof, 90, 110?
Yeah.
That's going to affect it also.
Duke, he's building a new computer. If you're tighter on your cuts, right, and you keep all your feints, keep the heads and the tails that you're going to chunk out and run it later, you can afford to be a little tighter on the cuts.
Still going to get some of that later. Yeah.
We taste stuff in here all the time. Not all the time, but frequently enough, someone will bring us a jar. Hey, try that. I did this and this happened, and try this. And a lot of the times we pick up heads and tails out of it, and it's I think it's just the optimism that we as humans kind of have. Like, oh yeah, that's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. I noticed myself early on when we first started running, like, oh, we could keep. We're running again later.
Adam, we lost our chat, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Ray says he was debating more flavor or higher proof. Yeah, that is the trade-off. Nothing wrong with either one. You get to trade.
Guts make a better drink. Gary, you're right.
Everyone's always liberal when they start, and they get stingy the more runs they do. Yep.
Well, and that's, again, to reiterate, that's the good thing about knowing you're going to keep your heads and your tails.
Yeah.
You're more likely to throw something out that's borderline if you know, like, hey, I'm just going to proof this
clean
out
this up later.
Yeah.
Dave, what's up? Glad to see you in the chat, man.
Mr. Boone.
So tonight we are running the 8-gallon Mile Hi Dual Purpose Pro. This is a collaboration between Mile Hi and Still in the Clear. So thank you, Mile Hi. We're going to give one of these away this month to one lucky customer. And I'm bringing this up because we're about to go on an intermission, and you'll get to see a little commercial. You'll get to see how we put this thing together. What we put in it and everything before the live stream started. And you should absolutely go check out Mile Hi Distilling. They are, number one, they have great products. They don't just sell stills, just about anything you need. They've got it on their site. Parts, yeast.
They sell Olympics and stuff too.
Stuff. They sell the Still in the Clear kits. Mm-hmm. They have them on their website. Yeah, they sell Olympics. They even sell commercial stills now. So it's a great company with great customer service. The folks over there are really good. I've been dealing with them for a few years now. So definitely go check them out if you're in the market for a still.
Who's the freaking man? I'm telling you too, they're out there in Colorado. If I wasn't, if I was in, not here where I'm at, I'd either be in like Florida, Texas, or Colorado, like the top three states.
Yeah.
Colorado's pretty bitching. But yeah, they're good folks over there, and we can't really express how appreciative we are that we reached out to them and said, hey, this is what we want to do. We want one of our customers, one of our viewers to win one of your stills, and they were all over it.
Yeah.
Awesome people.
All right. Adam, you want to roll us out on the intermission? We're going to get out of here. watch the intermission video. You can see how you can enter to win one of these amazing stills.
Back in a few.
All right, so it's still May. What does that mean?
Warmer temperatures, more mashes, and your opportunity to win a still.
Still giving away a still this month. The Mile Hi 8-gallon dual purpose pro, great still. Been running it for years. An awesome still. We're running it again this week, and we're going to give one away at the end of the month.
I'm super excited about it, super jacked up about it. Hope it goes to a good home that will treat it fairly and always run it and take care of it and look after it.
Maybe worship it a little bit.
Maybe, well, yeah, sure. So what do we got going today, brother?
This is the 24-hour turbo wash that we did. The easiest, the fastest sugar wash I've ever made in my life. 24 hours, it was ready to run. Dextrose, turbo yeast.
Pretty remarkable, really.
That was it. Yeah, it was fast. It was chewing through sugar at a rate of 3.3 points per hour.
I'm sure I may have seen it before, but I don't know that I've ever seen an airlock fighting for its life as hard as it was on top of this.
Right.
I mean, that thing was like a damn little... I mean, it was just like a little turbine
A little
going.
motor.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we start firing this mash off into our pot? I think we're going to pump it out, too.
Yeah, let's pump it so we can...
Well, there she is, all buttoned up, man, in all her glory. Takes no time.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing that's nice about the tri-clamps, man. Don't get me wrong. I like pasting an old school Olympic every once in a while. There's things to be said for that, but, man, there's also something to be said for,
Quick
hey,
and
I
easy.
feel like running in about 5 minutes.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, so this is it. She's ready to go. If you want to win one of these stills right here, we're having a drawing for the month of May. The entries are just go to the Still and Clear website. Any purchase on the Still and Clear website gets you an entry. Kit purchases get you a double entry. And then tonight during the live, 5 gifted memberships to the YouTube channel get you an entry. So lots of ways to enter to get your chance to win this beautiful bad boy right here.
We're jacked up about it. We hope you are too. Thanks for watching the little behind the scenes, what goes into the pot, listening to us about the still.
Yeah, and if you, if you want to find out more about this particular still that we're giving away, we will put a link in the chat during the live to Mile Hi Distilling, this particular product page, so you can go check it out and see just what it is you have a chance to win.
Yeah. Grab a beer. We'll be right with you.
And we're back. Hope everybody had a chance to do a little potty break, grab another beer, sit back down in front of the tube or the phone or whatever. I did see that Iron Duke was asking me to ask everybody in the chat, what kind of things would you like to see in the newsletter? Because the Duke is the man on the newsletter. He writes nearly all of the articles and kind of puts it together, does the editing. And so if there's something specific you would like to see in the newsletter, now's your chance. Call it out. And the Duke is paying attention.
It's also why I kind of frequently ask what mashes everyone's working on. One, because I'm just curious. And two, a lot of times what we'll do in the mash is feature someone that's engaged with us either on MeWe or over here in the YouTube chat. And if I see kind of an interesting thing, something that's pretty good. And
that would be cool.
A lot of times we'll feature those. Like we did Jason's toasted corn. What was the recipe in there this month?
Yeah, it was Jason.
That was this month. Okay,
Yep.
So cool stuff.
Rick wants to see his picture on the cover of the Rolling Shiners. Hell yeah.
Send it in, Rick. You may be pleasantly surprised, brother. Yeah. A big stack of gold and silver. Picture of you. Give us a commodities report, Rick. That's what I'd like to see in there.
Yeah. Clinton's bringing up the liquid amylase. Do a feature on the liquid amylase. That's a great idea. I don't think we've done a full feature on the liquid amylase, but it's certainly worth doing one.
Maybe we could like embed a video in there or something. I don't know if we've ever really done that before.
Well, I need to do one of those videos, and it could go. There's at the end of the newsletter, or towards the end of the newsletter, there's a featured video, and it could be in the. Usually, the featured video has something to do with one of the articles that is in the mash.
Yeah, Double Portion Farms. First off, really cool name there. Sorry for the newbie question. Don't be.
Don't apologize.
Does most everyone here just run small 8-10 gallon stills and not big ones? I think Double Portion that there's probably a good mix of some big stills in here. I know there's a few guys in here that run pretty big stills, and there's a lot of guys that run 8.5, 8, 10, 15s. I'd say 10, 15 is probably the most common size that's
probably
most of us are using. But there's some bigger stills out there.
Bill Smith's working on a popcorn Sutton recipe. There you go. That's a popular one.
Yo Clemente, 50 pounds of crushed pineapple, 7 pounds of sugar, and 6 gallons of water. I got a 1070 to start. That's a good place to start.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
50 pounds of crushed pineapple.
Getting close to a jar check. Thank you, Clinton.
8 to 25. Yeah, Winsong's throwing your still history in there. Getting close to a jar check. You just said that.
Yeah.
I love when we
I
do
think
that.
I really like the flavor of this. It's too sweet for me. I prefer not like semi-sweet is as sweet as I like it.
I think that this would be red hot fire cold.
It would be better cold.
I think it would be very good cold. And so I'm the same way you are. I like it. I like dry to very light, semi-sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the stuff that is sweeter, and it does end up most times being the higher ABV stuff, right?
Yeah, I like the post flavor stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind it sweet at all.
Yeah.
Because it's got that higher kick in it.
Yeah.
But on a wine or a mead, I like it.
A little bit more mellow.
Yeah, not so sweet.
Yeah. That Perry's doing a first-time rum wash, working fast, 10 gallons, 3 days, went from 1080 to 1020. Looking forward to it. Well,
yeah.
Like the monkey said when he got his tail cut off, Matt Perry, it ain't going to be long now, man.
All right, we're into jar 4 now. I'm going to start kind of smelling this and see.
Max ringing the shot bells, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, ding, ding. Welcome if you got them. Ray said, I see a
really got a sweet smell.
Ray said, I saw a video of Cyrus making a 25-gallon still, if memory serves me correct.
That does have a different type of flavor,
Sweet.
But I wouldn't call it. Yeah, it is sweet. I wouldn't call it an off flavor though, which is a very typical complaint I hear about turbo yeasts.
See what we got here.
Yeah, Ray, that 25 gallon that I built, that originally was on my other YouTube channel, maybe? I don't remember. It might be on Still in the Clear, but it might also be on Off Grid Maker.
Get a second little sip on this. I'm peeling something out here.
Winsong says it's whatever still that's demanding the most attention at the time. Yep.
That's high quality liquor.
I like it.
I'm pleasantly surprised. From just a dextrose, sugar wash, I mean, no corn, no extra, nothing kind of flavor.
And it's not I did see a comment. I don't remember who made the comment, but someone said it's going to be really hot, and that's not hot.
Winsong with the 5 gifted. Whoop, whoop. There she is.
5 more gift memberships. Woo. Bringing some people into the fold, mashing some new members in. You've been matched.
King Thor's, Ron Lowther, Emma's dad, Terry Lewis. Terry Lewis. Huh. Thank you, Winsong, yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's our #1 supporter. I don't know. Her and Joe kind of go back and forth.
Her, Joe, Clinton, there's so many
That's
great
true, yeah.
supporters.
Jerry, Thinker, Ray, Collector Rig, GTD.
It's really kind of cool. We've got such a great community.
Bunch of good folks
that have kind of,
that was like a Trump and Clinton mashup there.
Really a great community of supporters who've come to support Still in the Clear. I mean, I can't be any more grateful for all the great support we get.
Yeah.
This jar might surprise folks.
Uh-oh. I would go off taste. I didn't see what you proofed, and I'm not going to look at what you write down there. But just based off of taste, I'm going to say that that's about 145 proof somehow. It seemed a little hotter than whatever. What was the last one, 134?
I didn't think it was that hot when I tasted it, honestly.
I mean, it didn't.
And it might have been a little bit of a predetermined bias because I saw the comment earlier of someone predicting that it was going to be really hot because of the turbo yeast. But anyway, would you say 140 something?
142, 143, something like that.
We got a 130, 230. Terry,
230.
So close.
Damn,
so close.
A lot of faith, brother. We start figuring out how to get 230 off the still without melting the whole place down. We'll be in for it.
What is a 10-gallon popcorn recipe? I tried to get one from watching Moonshiners, but don't know how truthful it is.
Talking about a popcorn Sutton recipe?
No, I think an actual popcorn recipe. I don't have one.
If you have
But I'll tell you
TikTok,
what, Boarded and Beard did one where he malted his own popcorn.
yeah,
And then made some liquor with it.
that's
So
pretty cool.
go check out Bearded and Board. You can find one there.
Also, if you have a TikTok, go and search for Scooby-Doo Shine. That guy's videos are pretty cool. One, he puts a lot of stuff out, and two, he's got a side business where he goes around and he sells popcorn.
Yeah,
and I almost guarantee you that he's
done some popcorn.
Probably a few popcorn mashes.
And are you talking about popcorn like actually already popped popcorn or the popcorn kernels?
We mashed some popcorn.
I guess there could be. We did do some.
It was
popcorn.
with a bunch of other stuff though, so I don't know. I mean, probably couldn't really get much off of it, but
It was very much a recipe we will never reproduce.
yeah. Corn pie, yams, popcorn, cookies, stuffing.
Lynn saying, Lone Wolf, go for it. Post pics and MeWe along with Way for still porn for us to look at. Yeah, a lot of still porn in the MeWe group. Everybody's always posting their pics when they're getting a new still, when they're upgrading their still. Lots of cool shit over there.
Oh, we didn't bring out the.
He's wanting a popcorn Sutton recipe.
See, I was thinking.
You were right. Okay.
I was thinking.
Well, that is. There's actually a book. There's been a book published about popcorn that has his apparently recipes in it. I have no idea.
Allegedly. Yeah. I think here's the thing too. We talk about this somewhat frequently in the shop. You give somebody a recipe, right? Say, hey, here's the mash bill. If you're just looking at a mash bill and you're not looking at a bunch of different writing on how they convert and what kind of still they run and how they run it, it's going to be completely different liquor.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be similar, right? But it's going to be a process for you to exactly recreate whatever it is, especially if you go look at Popcorn Sutton, how he was run.
It's also why all the major distilleries share their mash bill, but they don't share anything else.
Right.
Well, that's not true. I've read articles about some of them sharing parts of the process, but
Yeah. And there's different, there's just so much variation in the mash process, let alone running it. You know, if you can master one, it wouldn't be uncommon that you can master the mash and recreate it and do exactly, you know, the mash, but the still side of things, you know, a big distillery running on a, you know, 10,000 gallon commercial still setup with steam, as opposed to me running on my 10-gallon electric or propane at home.
yeah,
It's just going to be different.
right.
Especially when you get into like aging and stuff like that. I think temperature and atmosphere play a bigger role in that kind of a thing than we know.
I have come to believe that everything plays a role. Everything. Clinton says, well, we lost you for about 12 seconds. FYI, both channels had a swirl.
I saw that.
I don't even know what a swirl is.
Well, it buffered.
Buffering?
They started buffering.
Oh.
During that time, I noticed that Hagar gifted another 5 memberships. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little.
Oh, we missed it. We didn't get to see it come across.
I don't know why. Every time that pops up on the screen, it's just like electric for me. Like the first time I ever saw it. You know what I mean?
Iron Duke says, Clinton, it was quite refreshing.
I love that. I love that, Duke.
How do you get that in there? Look at Clinton.
I don't know. Clayton knows all the
He
tricks.
puts a buffering swirl in the chat.
That's pretty cool.
That's a wizard. Whiskey aged closer to the Gulf Coast, aged much differently than in Kentucky. I believe it.
Sure.
I believe it.
Oh, buffering, but with the colons closer. And yeah, I don't even.
He's saying you type the word buffering with colons like directly next to it on each
no
side.
spaces.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Someone try that.
Handy little trick. Everybody in the chat, try to put the buffering emoji in there for us.
I gotta be honest with you, Clinton. I don't know if I'm buying it.
I've been making rum for about 2 years now. I've learned a lot along the way. Yeah.
What the hell is Paul talking about? You see,
Learning along the way is just part of it. I'm still learning all the time. Paul, I don't know, Paul. What in the world? Where did that come from?
What are you talking about, brother?
That's from left field right there.
I gotta admit, sometimes you guys say some things in here every once in a while, and I don't know if it's because I got a high school diploma from the Greenwood High School or if it's you guys, but sometimes I think it's me, and I reread things 3 or 4 times. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
I always just assume that I have missed something up further in the chat, and that there's context. I don't know what's going on. Why not? We got our first American Pope. Yeah, I was a little surprised by that.
Stoked about that.
When they were talking about the front runners, I was like, well, the American guy's not getting it.
Yeah. We were talking, and I was like, there's an American guy. There's Zajal from the guy from the Philippines. And then there's this other guy from like South Africa that they're looking at. They appear to be the front runners. Here, remind me this. Like, why they take a vow of silence, like basically when they walk in there to vote. Mm-hmm. How the hell are 133 people coming in there, writing a name down and getting it on the third try, getting a majority if they're never talking?
Yeah. Because they're talking.
Yeah.
I'm just not buying it.
Right?
Well, first of all, how does anybody else outside of that building know who the front runners are?
Right. There was a priest, right, that came in here a few like very shortly after the Pope passed away, and he's like, I don't really get into the conspiracies very much.
Yeah.
He said, but I don't know. I'm still doing it that way.
Right.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you were getting real close to just beasting through a couple sermons with you, brother, because I like the cut of your jib. I mean, he was like, I don't really get into conspiracies very much. But I don't know if I'm buying that.
Yeah. Well, and wasn't there was a show about some kind of Pope thing. Is it time to talk about the weather yet? I mean, we can.
Because you're getting off topic.
The Duke always reining us in when we need to be reined in.
I'm about to start giving Duke. I'm going to do a little bit more research before these things and give some like British current like goings on. What do we call it? There's a word for that. Current events.
Current events.
Some British current events every week for the Duke. Is there a reason you add your sight glass to the top of the still? Yeah, to be honest with you, it's just kind of for looks at this point. We do have that column packed with copper, so the smart thing to do if you're wanting that sight glass to have any use at all is put it below it. But we just kind of put it up there so people can see it.
We just tacked it on because it looks pretty up there.
Part of the still. We're trying to use everything that's, I mean, I guess too we could put the D flag on there and not hook it up and just run complete still. But
yeah, maybe next week. Why don't we try this? Let's run the 3-inch column, and then do the 3 to 2 reducer, and then do the 2-inch column. Have like a
10-foot tall column,
8-foot column up there.
We'd have to get a bunch of wood blocks to stack our jar up next to our. Taylor 0211 running the turbo bash. Yeah, we are, brother.
That is it.
I know a good Marine when I see one there.
Another good thing about that still that we really haven't talked about is they have multiple columns for that still. They've got a 3-inch, which we have, and it's awesome.
The 3-inch is awesome.
And they have a 4-inch column that you can run on that still.
Yeah.
And they also have like a really short stainless hooked over. It's only about this tall, goes straight up and over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So more.
For like spirit runs, stripping runs. And
so just more variability that you have with that still. Nice. I've got some oak sticks toasting in the oven right now for my apple corn. Hell yeah.
I like the toasted. I'll say that. I like charred too. Don't get me wrong. There's a time and a place for everything, but I got to say the toasted oak it adds a little something different.
It does.
You get that wood, but not necessarily all the acidity that you get off the char. And I like that.
Yeah.
I think toasted oak's probably one of my favorite. I don't know. The toasted cherry was.
That was really good in that brandy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask this from the chat. Do you guys hear the stuff that's going on next door?
Can you hear
We have a lot of noise. They're having a party next door.
Can you hear the disco party that is taking place right next door to us? No,
probably not.
Okay, good.
Probably not. Good. Well, it's not distracting you guys as much as it's distracting me. Awesome. We got 56 people on the YouTube channel in the chat right now. That is pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
56. Hit that like button if you don't mind. See if we can get a few more people in here. I've noticed a lot of new names in the chat that I haven't either seen in a while or at all. Is there anyone in the, here's what I'd like to know. If there's someone in the chat that this is your first time watching this live stream, just put a bunch of ones in the chat. Let me see you.
Ones in the chat if this is your first time here with us tonight. Doing a little R&D.
Ray wants me to do Lone Wolf. First time in here, brother. I thought I'd seen your handle before. Maybe
he's playing around.
Maybe you've commented
Leroy,
on videos or something.
Okay.
Ray wants a sing along with Cyrus. Not going to happen.
Some bionic code there.
Not going to happen.
Usually I'm watching on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Lucas. Gotcha.
Our boy from up there in Montana. Got the big old snowstorm he was showing off the other day.
Meanwhile, at Roebuck Mountain Farm.
Great name. Great handle, first and foremost, before we get to your comment. Brand new to this and thinking about a Brewhouse kettle. Any thoughts?
I have never ran a Brewhouse, but
Brewhouse.
I hear a lot of people using them and liking them.
I didn't know they were still making those.
Yeah, they're still around.
Brewhouse.
Oh, we lost our chat.
Arkansas gang.
Iron Duke wishes it was his first time. Trickster has joined the house. What's happening, Stillers? What's up, Trickster? Good to see you.
Indiana. Kind of crazy. So when we send the mash out, right, there's this mailer service that we use, and we can see when it's broke down by time zone, how many emails are going out to that time zone. And there was literally one that was just like the eastern tip of China that didn't have anyone in it. So that thing's going out all over the world.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Clinton dropping the Moonshine for Beginners group link down in the chat. If you are new and would like to join a great little internet society of moonshiners, helping other moonshiners, perfect for beginners, people thinking about jumping into the hobby, Moonshine for Beginners at MeWe.com is the place to be. It is.
Oh, no. Jason said there was a misunderstanding with the directions for my toasted corn.
Oh, no.
Message me if you want to toast the corn.
Oh,
so I
no.
guess it was just with the toasting.
Okay.
Maybe this way will be better, Jason. Did you ever think about that?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Maybe your way is awful. Yeah. And we just fixed it for you.
Also, by misunderstanding, I think you mean mistake, and we don't make those, so it must have been on your end. Flatland Hillbilly with the 5 gifted.
Flatland, brother. Thank you, sir.
Where's my graphic, Adam? Here we go. Wait for it.
Ray likes his brewhouse. You've been mashed. Been mashed in.
Sorry, that was probably really loud. I got that.
With the new computer that the Adam is building, we are thinking we're going to be able to do sound effects and all kinds of new cool shit with that. So we're pretty excited. Maybe by next week, maybe the week after, we'll have some of that figured out.
One of the guys that got one of the memberships his name's E.H. Tater.
E.H. Tater?
Instead of E.H. Taylor. That's awesome. I'm going to adjust the recipe in the file to Jason's toasted burger.
All right, cool.
Thank you, dude. I feel like maybe is this one of those things? Am I having a stroke? If you have the sudden urge to like chug a bunch of like apple juice, is that like burnt hair or one of those things like that just sounds really good. I'm craving a big old glass of apple juice. Am I dying?
I mean, I only knew one other person who had that happen, and they did die a couple days.
Call my pediatrician when I leave here.
We might get knocked off of TikTok just for that conversation right there.
Wait, what? Well, hold on. Let me. No, I think we're good.
No,
It's fine.
we're good.
Cool. Everyone relax. Settle down over there, you bunch of commies.
Lone Wolf says he wrote a recipe book on different things and made. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's Lucas. He's the one that was messaging me about like he's got a bunch of different mash recipes and like cocktails and stuff.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
he just want to share that with us. And
That'd be great.
or maybe I can't remember now, Lucas, if you were wanting to send us some, or you wanting us to send some to you, or anyway, we need to probably touch base on that. What's up, Backwoods? How are you, brother, man?
Backwoods in the house over there on the TikTok.
TikTok.
Kevin, apple juice makes me poop.
It does me too. Does me too. I think it does everyone. Natural diuretic.
That is a thing.
Coffee, cigarettes, apple juice.
You know what does it for me? Like, we have a lot of wild blueberries on our
Milk of
property.
magnesia. Oh, sorry.
We have a lot of wild blueberries on our property.
Uh-huh.
Go out there when they first come in, eat a handful of them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Full of ketones, too.
I have no idea.
Been told.
I have no idea.
I don't have a medical degree or anything, but
I mean, honestly, I don't do it anymore, but it was kind of like a first time thing. Like, what the?
Hey,
I think it was Winsong was like, yeah, you ate a bunch of wild blueberries.
no, that was the thing. I'd have been in trouble if I was just stumbling out. But here's the problem, too. Okay, so here's a conundrum for you. You're stranded out in the middle of the national forest somewhere. You know that, right?
Okay.
You know, if I eat a bunch of blueberries, I'm gonna crap my brains out.
Yeah.
You roll into a blueberry thicket you hadn't eaten in 3 days. What are you doing?
I'm piling up a bunch of them and trying to pace myself.
Okay, that's smart. I might make
Can
them.
you? If you haven't eaten in 3 days, can you pace yourself?
I might make a tea of them, which could make that worse.
Yeah.
The
And
tea.
like in the movies, you see someone, they've been somewhere without water for 3 days, and then someone brings them some water. They're like, drink slowly, and nobody does.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Well, that's the thing, too, when they were like liberating the concentration camps back in World War II, soldiers were rolling in. And I think the Americans learned from the Russians who had liberated one of these camps and just started chunking them rations and water and all this stuff. And they were like killing them. These guys were like blowing their stomachs up, or like something was happening. And their stomachs, were, that big, and they were gorging themselves and killing themselves and bloating. And careful what I'm saying here, but anyway, I don't know how we got on that, but it's a thing.
It's a thing.
This segues me into my next piece of discussion here.
How?
If you guys, first off, how could that be? If you guys were dropped off in the middle of the wilderness during a climate where it's 70 degrees every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have extreme cold, you don't have extreme hot.
See you later, Duke.
70 degrees. He'll be here for a while. How long do you think that you can make it out in the middle of the woods in that case?
In a balmy climate?
And just like in a
70 degrees?
in a very agreeable climate, yeah.
Probably until an animal killed me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's an interesting take.
Serious.
I mean, I don't take myself as a survivalist, but I
Yeah.
feel like you're in much better shape if you're in a climate like that.
Do I have nothing, or do I have,
do we have
like,
tools or
my pack?
You get one item. No, you get one item,
one?
the clothes on your back, and a nice pair of boots.
Okay, so like a nice hatchet or something or whatever.
Up to you.
Whatever.
It's
yeah,
your item.
It's your item.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well, it
tough.
would definitely be a knife.
Yeah.
That's too handy. To not choose knife for my one item.
All right. I don't know.
Either that, or maybe my cell phone to call somebody and say, "Hey, come get me."
Come get me.
Yeah, that's true. I'd bring a dirt bike. Think about that dirt bike too. All the shit you could use off of it once it finally ran out of gas.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm
Fire starter.
I'm giving myself 90 days. I think that's respectable. I think if I got a water source that I can go find, which I'm in the woods, I'm going to find some water. That's not going to be a problem.
What's your item?
I'm going to go with 500 feet of paracord.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I mean, not a bad choice. I'm just thinking.
I'm
about,
thinking
like,
from a fire perspective, a little bow,
Okay,
fire
sure.
bow.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
thinking for,
Yep.
it's not super necessary for shelter purposes, but also you can break that paracord down, fish with it.
Yep.
The hooks would be an issue.
Cutting it's going to be an issue. Goes paracord.
Oh shit! Damn, I already picked it too.
Picture says
That would I get out there
ready. Is Zach going to get an emoji too? Yeah, we need to have a Zach emoji for sure. We'll think about that.
What would that look like? There you go. There's an open door for you animals.
Well, the reason I didn't choose fire starter is because he said constant 70 degrees, and so
You're gonna boil
If you-
water and stuff though too.
Well,
I guess
if
you
you
really. I just
only
gotta get a
get one
fire
item-
going once.
if you only get one item and you choose fire starter, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
I think
stairs too with the
if you
paracord.
said not without a knife. I think
kinda
if you
true.
said,
Cut into 10-foot lengths.
I think it changes the entire dynamic of the conversation if you say you get 3 items.
Yeah,
'Cause then you get to really like dial in everything. But if you only get one item,
I can find a rock. I could find a nice rock and do enough rubbing and finally
I guess you
fray it out. And
you could.
I mean, it wouldn't be a clean cut by any means, but I could probably get it separated out.
Burn a few calories.
Maybe bring a life straw. I don't know. That's kind of dumb. I'm just gonna boil water and How am I gonna boil the water?
I mean,
What am I gonna put it in?
Jason asks a good question. When you say just the clothes, does that include my EDCs? Fair question. Roll of duct tape, that's pretty handy.
What's the EDC?
Everyday carries.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess, well, I don't know. It's kind of an unfair advantage. Some of us walk around a little bit more prepared. I normally have a pocket knife on me.
Right, right. Flint Napa knife, yeah.
Box of cigars.
I'm taking dude white.
Yeah, you gotta make it long. You know how long I'm gonna last? A box of cigars. How long it takes me to smoke all those.
Jason says jar check. Whew.
Good Lord.
Is that AC not working?
I don't know, man. I'm not feeling anything. Bunch of heat. Let me go look at it.
If I only get one item, Lone Wolf says he's taking a steal.
Gonna get drunk the whole time, yeah?
I mean, you're lost in the woods.
Might as well.
85 degrees in here if anyone cares.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Jason says 120. Took a still, but you don't have a mash to still with. That would be a problem. Staring at a still. Going, man, I wish I had a mash.
Staring at
124, 130, 135, 116, 110, 128, 138. This is jar number 5. Last jar was 138, if I didn't tell anybody. I'm really not good at remembering to reveal the jar. Look at that animal right there.
Baby, you guys got to help me come up with a name for her. I'm going to do that dumb thing where I name my still.
Nothing wrong with that. Lots of people name their still.
Thinking Gertrude, maybe Beatrice. You guys let me know how those sit with you.
That's a beautiful still. The DOC Stainless Works still came in this week. Going to be running that one soon.
It is stout. I'll give it that. Call it DD for Destin's Dream. DD. Big Bertha. What was the name of that? What was the name of that B-52 that dropped the atomic bomb?
Enola Gay?
Enola Gay, yeah.
Kind of sad that I know that, isn't it?
It's kind of a long name, though. Good. It's a good bit of trivia. It's good to have in your back pocket.
It's strange, the things that get stuck in your head that never leave and the things that leave almost immediately. Yeah. Weird.
Molly, Dirty Gertie, Big Bertha, Octopus Garden.
I bet there is, I bet there's some study going on right now about that. Why do certain things leave immediately and some things that seem trivial and useless stick forever?
I'm full of random, useless knowledge. It's useless until it's not. Then one day you're like, oh yeah,
I know the answer to that.
It's Enola Gay.
Yeah, that always bums me out. Least populated state per capita. You guys got an answer for that one?
Least populated state per capita.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a trick question? Least populated state per capita?
Like from ratio, yeah, per capita, land space to people.
One of the Dakotas, I'm gonna say.
Nothing in that question references
Per capita?
That's per person?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's people per amount of land.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, per capita.
I didn't know that's what that meant, though.
Yeah, didn't either.
Okay. North Dakota.
Montana?
Montana. Yeah. Montana's a pretty cool little place. Did you just read Trickster's comment and go with it?
Yeah, I knew Trickster knew it. And I was like, I'm just cheating right here.
My boy Trickster, one of the smartest guys I know.
What was the proof? Thank you for the reminder. 127. 127 on jar 5. North Dakota, Alaska, Montana, Alaska, Wyoming, Alaska.
It used to be Wyoming, I'm pretty sure. And it may be that Wyoming and Montana have gone back and forth at some point. Yeah, it's Montana for sure. Wyoming, I think, is a close second, which is odd because you would think Alaska, right? But like Montana,
But they don't have very many people.
What's the biggest city in Montana? Billings?
Billings. Yeah, well, Montana's also growing exponentially with
Montana
a lot
is
of
growing here
Californians.
lately. That's true.
Yeah.
They are going up there and having themselves a little heyday. But you got to think about that too. Most people are going up there and purchasing, you know, few thousand acre ranches. These Californians, and sure people work on those ranches, I guess.
Yeah. What did you come up with for the names?
Wyoming
did you
was
see
in
any good ones
2020.
with the name of the
I
still?
was seeing some good ones. I don't know, man. Maybe we put a poll up. If we get like a few good ones or something, we throw a poll up.
It needs to be something that is, because it's stainless, right?
Yeah.
So she
Swiss.
So she's shiny,
Yeah.
and she's like racy. So it needs to be like a truck stop diner waitress name, or
I don't want to start throwing these out there. I don't know who these old boys are married to. I don't want anyone to take offense.
I don't think anyone would take offense. We're not specifically talking about anyone.
The exact situation you're talking about, I got the name instantly. I just don't know if I want to say it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I should say it. Maybe I should say it.
I think you should say it.
Crystal.
Crystal fits.
Right?
Yeah. Like, it reminds me of that song.
Candy.
What was that song? I like trashy women or something like that.
I like my women just a little on the trashy side.
Yeah.
When they wear their clothes too tight. And I gotta stop, or else we get copyright.
Something Railroad. The name of the artist. Something Railroad. Hey, chat. Who sings that song? Is it like
too much lipstick in a too much room?
Yeah.
Gets me excited, leaves me feeling confused.
Confederate Railroad? That's
Confederate
it.
Railroad, yeah. Eileen Flo Gertrude. My aunt's name is Crystal. She's a nice lady.
Flo?
That's a fake comment.
Eileen's not bad because she's a little top heavy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Bessie. I don't know.
Silvertooth Becky.
We're going to have to do some thinking on this one. Nick gave it a Google. He said Google says Alaska 1.3, Wyoming 6, Montana 7.1.
So that's 7.1 people per?
I also think,
Or is that one person per 7?
Isn't Alaska much smaller on the?
It's much smaller in relationship to how it's represented on the map.
Okay, yeah. I think that's a common misconception, is that it's a huge, huge state, like bigger than the size of Texas. Maybe it is. I don't know. I want to back up.
I think it's the Mercator projection makes it look like it's a third the size of the U.S.
Hand me my phone.
Okay.
We've been banned.
It was that.
What do you think it was? I'll tell you exactly what it was.
We're talking about unaliving
Yeah.
earlier.
Yep.
Restrictions. Live access suspended. Trade of regulated goods and services.
I looked at the still and fat bottom girls popped into my head. Eileen works down at the IHOP.
Deal. Mint. All right. Last time I got one of these for this reason, it was back in 5 minutes. So hopefully that
We'll
happens.
see. Quentin says that got commie talked again.
No shit. The second that I get the Homebrew Center up and going and start posting stuff over there regularly, which is going to be like next week. Dude, I would be so happy to just have a reason to get like, you guys suck. Like, post one font, which they don't care. They don't care.
They do not.
I started saying that, and I was like, they do not care. They don't know you. They don't care.
They want you to say it, in fact.
Yeah.
Out loud.
It's good content. Drives interactions.
You could split Alaska in half, and Texas would be the third largest state. Damn, really?
You could split. Wait, what? Oh, really? You could split Alaska in half, and Texas would be.
So the two halves of Alaska would still be bigger than Texas?
I did want to say that I saw an overlay of the actual state of Alaska's landmass laid over the U.S., and it was like half.
So it's the opposite of what I was
It's
thinking.
much bigger than it appears on the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't remember which way that one went.
When song says, and that, boys and girls, is why I hate TikTok.
One song, you're not wrong. I'm right there with you, sister.
How about Roxanne? Not a bad name for
Roxanne. You don't have to put up a red light. It's like the rest of the.
Ray has never used TikTok.
Don't do it, Ray.
I mean, there's a lot of shit about TikTok I like. Like, TikTok shows me really funny shit. TikTok shows me little kids doing really cool shit, you know, like young athletes that are like just balling. I love watching those kind of videos. Like, Jesus.
I want to delete it from my phone. Planned out all the mountains in Alaska, that is why. That's true. We don't really think about land mass that's duplicated because it's going straight up. It is unusable, right? But it is still technically square miles.
True. How about Rosie from Fire Down Below by Bob Seger?
Roseanne. Oh, Roseanne from someone help me out here. You know, come on, Dan Connor, the Connors. Roseanne. The show is literally called Roseanne.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. That'd be a good one.
Yes, you can feed chickens with mash.
Chickens love it.
Absolutely. Pardon me. All the critters in the woods love mash.
Have you ever seen animals get drunk?
Chickens will get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything will get drunk, right? Like,
Well, I mean, back when I was running literally in the middle of the woods and I had a massive pile of mash, the raccoons were out there like every night.
just big old basketball bellies, just hammered.
I don't remember them looking like they were drunk. And I was like 10 feet from them. The pile of mash was outside of the, I had set up this camouflage thing and would just dump my mash outside the tent. And as long as I just sat in my chair and looked at them and they could see me not moving, they would just sit there and eat the whole time.
I'm not going to get too deep into this because the statute of limitations isn't quite up yet, but you can absolutely get a coon intoxicated. 100%.
Okay. Obviously, there's more to that story.
You've clearly never seen half a dozen drunk coons running around a nursing home. Okay. If you delete it, you won't have to worry about what you say and getting banned. That's true, Jason. I could just be a red, white, and blue-blooded American and say what I feel like, and you know, it's crazy. I gotta get off it.
Vines. Oh, Clinton's bringing back the old stuff.
Look at this. Appeal
Remember
approved.
Vines? Or am I the only one here that remembers Vine?
Yeah. Vine? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we loved Vine. Miss it. It was a good era.
Here you go, Yaddle. Live access restored. Appeal approved. You guys are soft as baby shit. I don't know if anyone from the TikTok leadership group is over here in this live right now, but hate you. Baby poop. Soft. Your 10 ply, bud.
Okay, no comments.
We've got the
No.
dog a good contact once or twice.
Rick says, yay, and watch for double yolkers the next morning. Drunk chickens, I assume.
Oh, yeah. They get drunk and start overproducing, you think? Lube up the system a little bit?
You know,
Does lower your inhibitions. I could see.
I mean, chickens are pretty wild to watch. The roosters are gangsters.
I'm gonna be honest with everybody for a minute, and I think this is something I think about all the time, and I never take the time to Google it. I don't know why that is. You ever have something that's kind of the back of your mind that you're like, I've always wondered about this, and I could very easily just kind of Google it, but you just for some reason never do.
Yeah.
How do I don't understand really how chickens reproduce. I mean, I get right. They're laying eggs. Okay, I'm good with that. I mean, that part of it makes sense to me. And they don't lay fertile eggs if there's not a rooster around. Okay, but here's where they lose me. Are the rooster and the chicken?
Yes.
They do?
You've never seen it happen?
That's how it happens.
They do it.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to have your mind blown again?
Yeah.
Did you know that they have one hole that does everything for them? It's
Not
called
sure
a
that I would.
cloaca.
A cloaca.
Yeah, it does every
It's
bodily
where
function.
everything comes out.
Google that for me, Adam.
No.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I just always kind of know, like, right, so like the eggs don't get fertilized, they don't hatch, and they just always produce the eggs
Correct.
at like
Yeah.
crazy rapid amounts.
Basically one a day. Sometimes
1 to 2 a day, yeah. Cloaca. So, all right. I just want to be honest with everyone and just get that off my chest. That's something I've wondered about for a long time. And
Well, what's really rough to watch is when you have too many roosters. They just run trains on chickens. I'm not kidding.
Really?
If you have too many, yeah, because
Why do they do that?
because they're males with nothing in their immediate atmosphere that stops them from just acting like males.
So they want to do 3 things.
They literally get in a line, and there's one hen just kind of mashed to the ground, and it turns.
No way.
Yes.
No, I've never seen that.
Oh yeah,
Are you kidding me?
it's pretty rough to have too many.
Why didn't she get the hell out of there?
It's why
I mean, I'm not trying to put it on her. It's not her fault, but like, why doesn't she just get out of there?
I mean, look what she was wearing. No, but honestly, it's why people don't want too many roosters, because hens will stop laying eggs.
At a protest.
I
don't blame them. I would too.
Yeah.
I'd be tired as well.
Wait till you hear about ducks. I'm not aware of whatever this is.
Guys, I don't know.
Basically, everything you just said turned up to 11. Like, ducks are like vicious animals.
Are they?
Yeah.
Now, I have seen some my wife's cousin's got some ducks, right?
Terry says this just went R-rated.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but kind of not. It's just, I don't know. But so anyway, my cousin's got my wife's cousin's got some ducks, right? And the male ducks will just grab the females, just bite on them back here and hold them down.
That's how chickens do it. Yeah.
I didn't know that's what they were doing, really, honestly. I thought they were just kind of beating each other up.
Didn't realize that's what was going on. Oh, look at them wrestling.
Oh, look, they're tussling. That other one's being a little mean. Kicking them real hard, repeatedly, over and over again.
Ray says get some pet turkeys and watch the Tom.
We need to start canceling the overpopulation of roosters,
Yeah.
Start a social media,
Yeah,
Me too, but for like chickens, kind of.
we had so many roosters at one time we couldn't give them away.
Why don't you just eat them? Not any good.
I mean, we did, but like
Just not
roosters are just not that good to eat.
yeah.
And of all of the dressing, chickens are what I hated the most.
Joe Park says, "What temp should I run my still?"
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Bring us back. Bring us back, sister. Glenn says course correction. Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Oh God.
I mean, I'm not answering the question because I know you already know the answer. I realize, yeah,
That started off pretty innocent. Did take quite a dark turn.
it did.
Started with me just not knowing really how chickens fully worked, and then we got into a little dark quickly.
Golden Sharp is asking, where do you like to purchase your post flavorings at? Well, Winsong might jump in on this. She orders a lot of post flavor stuff. I think she has some preferences as far as types and brands and things like that. But I think most of it she gets off Amazon when she's buying concentrated flavor stuff. Huh, if that's what you're asking about, Colton.
Chicken shine. As a matter of fact, that brings me to my next point of business here.
Oh, that's right. We got a tasting to do.
Little hen's teeth.
Olive Nation is a good source, Terry says. I've heard a lot of people talk about Olive Nation. A bit pricey, though, too. And so explain to everybody what this is.
So this is a blend of 50% Trucker and 50% Hickory King that was aged a half gallon of it, which is what I pulled off. I got some more bottles back there. Aged a half gallon for a little over 2 weeks on 2 staves of charred oak.
Mm-hmm.
So I blade a lot of, like, double the amount of wood and go pretty quick.
Yeah, it was quick. And surprisingly, like, I think you were right at the edge of like, this is too
much. Yeah.
Like I think you could have gone a few more days and it would have been too much.
Well, we tasted it the day before, so we were doing the right thing and realizing, okay, this is close, and we're trying to like take a little sip every day. And so, like the third day I did that, it was like a light flipped on, and it went from, hey man, this is good, this is really good, to like, oh, hold on, man. I mean, is this too much? And I was realizing too, after the apple brandy, that I pulled the wood off of a little too soon. Toasted wood, albeit not charred oak. By the time I proofed it down to 90, it was 112, and I proofed it down to 90. So kept all that wood flavor, and actually I think kind of helped it recover from being possibly have too much wood in it.
Yeah.
But you guys be the judge. Let me know what you think. 50-50 corn liquor. And I want to be clear about this. I'm taking all criticism here. Okay, I want to know what you think. Buttery nose.
And what'd you say the proof? What is this proof down to?
90.
90. Okay.
A little tad lower than I normally do.
Huck is asking, is there a white dog that actually has a good flavor or is less harsh?
George Washington rye.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. But I'll tell you that the super simple beginner recipe with all the molasses from the sweet feed is really good. Yeah, that's my opinion. Really smooth. I like it.
It's got a it kind of lets you know it's there on the end, though. You know what I mean?
I feel like if I had to guess what this proof was, without you already telling me it's 90, I would have said like 80.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really smooth.
It's incredibly smooth on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
And when I just shot that, now it's smooth on the back end, but it does that thing kind of in the back of your mouth, throat, where it kind of, you get that burn on the way down, That might just be 90 proof liquor, and there's not really much you can get that, but it's incredibly smooth in the mouth. Good flavor too, I think. It's got a hint of sweet in there. Get a little bit of that wood. The hickory, the trucker, and the hickory kind of.
I'm getting a pecan, which I'm not used to getting.
Yeah,
kind of
some sort of like butter. I mean, I get exactly what you're saying. Kind of like a nutty.
On the nose for sure. There's absolutely zero burn on the front of your tongue.
Yeah, no,
it's crazy.
When you got it held in your mouth, it's just kind of sweet. It's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the wood and the other flavors too, but I'm very pleased with the smooth. Now, I don't know what you do to tamper that down that's on the back. And again, it may be nothing.
Yeah.
The first sip does it for me, and then the second swallow that I took, it wasn't really there.
That's pretty good. I'm really liking it.
I don't know what I'd change about it, to be honest.
Either. And the fact that you said I could take that bottle home is very generous.
You can take that bottle home. You got a way bigger one over there.
Yeah.
It's going to my house.
Jason says, I like my bourbon strong enough to fight a chimp.
Oh,
You drink a bottle.
Let's not get that wrong again.
You drink a bottle of this and go to a zoo and see what happens.
Clinton says a high barley, low corn mash bill will give a nicer, overall, less harsh outcome as well. Interesting.
I think if I was going to do anything differently, I think that I'd keep the same amount of pounds per gallon on the 50-50 blend of Trucker and Hickory King, and then maybe add, like in that, 45-ish gallon mash back there, I'd probably add 10 pound oats.
Oats would do well in it.
Just a little bit, not a
Oats or wheat both.
10 pounds of oats or 10 pounds of wheat. I think I'd probably lean oats. Also, I bumped that with 4 pounds of sugar, and I bet if I added that oats in there, I could avoid the sugar.
Yeah.
I would hate to think that the 4 pounds of sugar over 40, 45 gallons would give you that harsh after that I'm feeling.
Probably not. Dave joined us. Good to see you, brother. Glad you made it. Word, my brothers. Just put the day away. Time for Shine with Friends.
Olympic Dave,
You're in the right place.
Better to use quick oats or oat grains. Jason and all of our kids, we use a crimped, steamed, rolled oats.
Yeah, we use oat grains. You can use quick oats. I've done it before, especially in a mountain brandy.
And we don't grind them.
And they turn out just fine.
We don't have to grind them, right? Because they're steamed already.
Yeah, and the good thing about them using the steamed and rolled oats, because the husks are still there, and oats can get pretty sticky. So the husks kind of add a little, I don't know what the right word is, maybe a little extra viscosity or something. I don't know if that's the right word. Less viscosity.
Lubricant.
Yeah, so.
Like to Rick.
You could certainly.
5 gifted, brother.
Rick with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, brother. And there's an entry.
You've been mashed.
This wonderful still back here behind us. So for those of you who are in the chat and unaware, we're giving one of these stills away this month. Pretty easy to enter. Rick just got an entry in. 5 gifted memberships during the live. Or you can go to stillintheclear.com, and any purchase is worth an entry, and you can purchase as many separate times as you want to get as many different entries as you want. And a kit, if you buy one of the kits, that's a double entry. So a few different ways to win.
Yeah, man.
And I think it's time for another intermission.
All right. It's the top of the hour. It's 7 o'clock. The big hand's on the 12, the little one's on the 7. That's right. We're going to take a little break here. What are we going to do during this break? We'll make good use of our time, go to the bathroom like good boys and girls, grab a fresh refreshment. Fresh refreshment. What a terrible way to say it.
Fresh refreshment.
Grab a new refreshment. Hunker back down towards the TV. We're going to be back here in about 5 minutes. If you missed the beginning of the live or the last intermission, you're going to see what went into the pot before we fired the cameras up tonight. So don't miss that. There's also going to be some other information dropped during that video, so don't. We'll be right back.
All right, so it's still May. What does that mean?
Warmer temperatures, more mashes, and your opportunity to win a still.
Still giving away a still this month. The Mile Hi 8-gallon dual-purpose pro, great still. Been running it for years. An awesome still. We're running it again this week, and we're going to give one away at the end of the month.
I'm super excited about it, super jacked up about it. Hope it goes to a good home that will treat it fairly and always run it and take care of it and look after it.
Maybe worship it a little bit.
Maybe, well, yeah, sure. So what do we got going today, brother?
This is the 24-hour turbo wash that we did. The easiest, the fastest sugar wash I've ever made in my life. 24 hours, it was ready to run. Dextrose, turbo yeast.
Pretty remarkable, really.
That was it. Yeah, it was fast. It was chewing through sugar at a rate of 3.3 points per hour.
I'm sure I may have seen it before, but I don't know that I've ever seen an airlock fighting for its life as hard as it was on top of this.
Right.
I mean, that thing was like a damn little. I mean, it was just like a little turbine,
A little
going.
motor.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we start firing this mash off into our pot? I think we're going to pump it out, too.
Yeah, let's pump it so we can.
Well, there she is, all buttoned up, man, in all her glory. Takes no time.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing that's nice about the tri-clamps, man. Don't get me wrong. I like pasting an old school Olympic every once in a while. There's things to be said for that,
Sure.
but, man, there's also something to be said for,
Quick
hey,
and
I
easy.
feel like running in about 5 minutes.
Right.
There you
right.
go.
Yeah, so this is it. She's ready to go. If you want to win one of these stills right here, we're having a drawing for the month of May. The entries are just go to the Still and Clear website. Any purchase on Still and Clear website gets you an entry. Kit purchases get you a double entry. And then tonight during the live, 5 gifted memberships to the YouTube channel get you an entry. So lots of ways to enter to get your chance to win this beautiful bad boy right here.
We're jacked up about it. We hope you are too. Thanks for watching the little behind the scenes, what goes into the pot, listening to us about the still.
Yeah, and if you, if you want to find out more about this particular still that we're giving away, we will put a link in the chat during the live to Mile Hi Distilling, this particular product page, so you can go check it out and see just what it is you have a chance to win.
Yeah. Grab a beer. We'll be right with you. I didn't shut that door. I get it. All right.
And we're back.
And we're back. We hope you grabbed your libation, took a little break, watched the video. We're glad you're still here with us. Put my mic on here. There we go.
Ed says he can't worship it, but we'll take as good a care of it as I do my wife. I mean,
I'm going to back you up there a little bit, Ed. I don't want you taking care of this still how you take care of your wife. 1, not appropriate. 2, inanimate object. We put Ed on a list.
Twin Song says, LOL, Ed, some wives aren't treated very good.
Uh-oh.
It's true. So, like, you got to be careful when you say something like that.
Might get you back.
Nick is letting us know. It's time for a jar check.
David said I libated. We're getting close on some things in here, okay? Yeah, Clinton letting Kevin know how it's working in there, yep. Little tidbit there. I like reading your guys' comments back and forth to each other, too. I don't necessarily, we don't read every comment, right, because it's just not possible. But I do internally read just about all of them, I think.
Yeah. Jar number 6.
All that was missing from that video was the Benny Hill jingle.
We got to get us one of those. And quite honestly, I was behind the 8 ball getting that done, so I didn't have time to do any real good editing.
I think you're too
Didn't
hard
add
on
any
yourself, man.
music.
I think it was fine. That was just a really catchy little jingle they came up with there.
Yeah.
Jason, if we can figure out the logistics of that deal, yes, you can. And again, I don't know the legalities of it, if you can charge for something like that or if it's got to be a non-for-profit type venture. But if I ever get to tussle with a chimp, that's my dream, right? You know, we all got dreams. Mine is to go toe to toe with a in captive for the majority of its life chimp, and just see what happens. I wouldn't say that. It doesn't have to be. I also don't know what effect that would have on the chimp. Anyway, I'm getting off that for this week, but
It's a common theme throughout our lives.
mm-hmm.
Clinton says, wait until the day you have 100 plus in the live stream. Yeah, when it gets there, we know we'll miss most of the comments, but we'll still try. We'll still try and catch what we can.
Will Bruce Buffer announce the fight? No, it'd probably be Bruce's second cousin twice removed. I don't know if we could afford the real Bruce Buffer. I read a deal online one time that says he gets $1 million a fight.
What?
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. That could have just been an internet thing, but he is the best, right? I mean, people do love him.
You are worth what people will pay, right?
Yeah. Kevin says, I don't want to be anywhere near the front row of that. Can you say casually? You'd be in the splash zone for sure. Hey, yeah, Adam, if you get a chance, I forgot about it.
Who's that old comic that did the he would smash watermelons and stuff on stage? Gallagher. Yeah.
Beat me to it, man. You were quick on that one.
Yeah, so like people paid extra money for those front row seats just to get covered in
good
sugary muck from fruit.
Which is wild to pay more money to be splattered in fruit. But then I guess you do got a nice little, hey, we went and saw Gallagher back in '86 and got covered in watermelon.
Yeah. So jar number, I'm going to remember to let you guys know what the proof was. I think, KRB went over 122 on jar number 6.
122. Yeah, Chappelle did do a skit as Gallagher, which was very funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on the Chappelle show back in the day.
So who would you say is the comedic GOAT? Immediately, I already know who's in my head.
Of all time?
Or
Or do you want to break it up like pre-2000? Because they're just so different now. Like,
that's true.
I could do all time. I think my all-time would still be better than the pre-2000s that I would pick. But I have two different ones probably that I'd go with. And the pre-2000s ones that I would go with, that's because I saw this guy pre-2000s, and before what happened, he was widely regarded as like one of the best.
Before what happened?
Yeah. That tells you anything. I had a really good bit about going to the dentist. I didn't say it out loud. I mean, he's just funny. I mean, all the other stuff was bad. But
Yeah, Ray nailed mine. George Carlin's my all-time favorite.
Dave Chappelle is 100% my go.
Dave Chappelle is
I like Tom Segura
probably
a lot.
Dave Chappelle would be second. Bill Burr would be third for me.
I put Tom Segura before Bill Burr.
Really?
Yeah, I think his specials are ridiculously funny. I like the way he lays things out too. He's pretty eloquent, right? Like, and he's pretty smart. I kind of like the wittier side. I think that's why we like George Carlin, right? He's kind of deep.
Yeah.
And Tom Segura is somewhat of like just a big disgusting animal, like in his comedy, but it's like really well thought out. Like he's pretty intelligent the way he kind of thinks of bits and stuff. So
Yeah.
But no, I'd go like Dave Chappelle, and I really, really like Jerry Seinfeld. I've seen Jerry Seinfeld live in New York.
His comedy hasn't struck me that much.
If you saw the set that he did at the Birdcage in New York when I saw him, I think our sense of humor is pretty similar.
Yeah.
You'd have been rolling, dude.
Maybe.
He's very funny live.
Yeah, and maybe like
the Seinfeld bits, the intro bits, where he's up there and he's doing a little bit of stand-up before the episode starts.
Yeah.
I never really looked at one of those and thought, oh, man, that's hilarious. But when I saw him live, I was like, dude, what? He was very funny. I like Cat Williams.
Yeah, I like Cat Williams too.
I thought Cat
I
Williams.
love Cat Williams' bit about his boy being ADD and putting him on medication. That's like one of the funniest bits. Oh, we got a red fox in there.
Red Fox. That's a good one. What is the average fermentation time for a sugar wash? How many days? All right, get them in there.
Drop the depends.
Start putting them in there.
It does depend. It depends on, like, first off, as we found out with this mash, it depends on the yeast you use. 24 hours for this one. 24 hours. It was at 1.002 at 24 hours, which is crazy. But all things being, all things as far as your yeast and the environment that your yeast is in, if the environment is good for the yeast, and your gravity is between, say, 1050 to 1080, you're looking at like 7 days.
7-10 days, something like that's pretty normal.
Trickster says when it's done, which is the absolute correct answer. It's the frustrating answer that people don't like to hear. It takes as long as it takes because there are so many variables, right? Temperature, ABV,
Yeah. And here's the thing.
starting gravity.
Here's the thing too. Like, if you're planning on, if you're a pretty domesticated human being, right? You got a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and you've got to run on Saturday, and your mash isn't quite ready by Saturday when you need to run it. Just run it the next week. We have mashes that have sat around for months after they were ready.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with them. And some would even argue that you naturally clarify your mash and drop a lot of sediment out of it, and you probably end up getting a better mash out of the deal, honestly. Yeah. But
and two, it's like, especially in Lynn, I don't know if you're new to moonshining, but that's pretty typically a new question. Yeah. It's not that, oh, I have this Saturday to do it. It's like, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready. How come this is taking so long? Yeah. You just got to be patient and let it finish out.
15 days and counting. Lynn, where's it at? You dropped a hydrometer in it to see how long you got? How much more sugar content you got?
Yeah, that's the other thing. If it's slowed down and you're worried about it taking too long and maybe it's not going to finish, you drop a hydrometer in it, get a gravity reading, wait 3 days. If it has moved, then it's still working. And if it hasn't moved, you might have an issue, you might have a stall, and you might want to try and go through a troubleshooting process to figure out if there's something wrong with it. And that is a pretty simple 4-step process. We have a guide sheet for it. You can get our guide sheets for free. They're free downloads, but we have one called Stuck Ferment Guide, and it gives you 4 steps. First, you check the gravity and make sure it didn't finish, because sometimes people think, oh, it's been 4 days and this thing has stopped all of a sudden. And sometimes it only took 4 days and it's done. So that's the first thing you check. Then you check temperature, because that's the most common culprit for fermentation problems. Then you check pH. And then if none of those are a problem, you add some nutrients. And almost always one of those 3 will solve your problem for you. Yeah. One of those 4. And Adam dropped the guide sheets in there, and also Moonshine for Beginners group, which is where you can go and ask questions and get answers. And we try and answer questions here too, but like we also screw around a lot, as you've noticed. But in the Moonshine for Beginners group, if you ask a question, you're going to get an answer, and usually pretty quick.
Perfect.
Yeah, Jason says, sometimes I can't wait anymore and I just run it. I've done the same thing. If it gets down below 1.020 and I'm just ready to run it, I'll just run it.
Yeah. You sacrifice a little bit of yield, right? But, if you're one of those guys that you've got to line out time and kind of schedule things out, and I've got to do this by then, I would say, from just based on this run, right? Dextrose and the 24-hour turbo, if you're under a time constraint, I don't necessarily off of this run, I don't see anything in the world wrong with dumping some turbo yeast and finishing it out real quick.
Yeah, we did that
if
one
you
other
just
time.
Need to run it, right?
Yeah.
We did it before with positive results too, and didn't really notice.
There was no difference. And I'm noticing on these, well, on the first jar that I actually tasted in this run, and I knew we were in the hearts, I have no off flavors. It does have a different flavor,
No.
But I'm kind of
Chalking that off
attributing
the
that.
dextrose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking dextrose more than the yeast. But there are a lot of people out there that they swear they do not like turbo yeast.
Yeah. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think if you have the luxury of time on your side or a bunch of free time when you can just kind of run it when it's ready, like, is just a traditional daddy, you know, the way to go? Yeah, maybe, probably. But I'm telling you right now, I 100% don't really, I'm not, at least on this run. Now, maybe we do a different run that's got any kind of other flavor or grain in it, and it kind of does something weird to that profile.
Sure.
Maybe. I'm not going to rule that out, but I think from a beginner standpoint, especially,
yeah,
dump some turbo in it and get it ready. You know, you dump some, if you got something that's worked down to like 10, 20 and it's not having a pH issue or something, and you dump some turbo yeast in it, it's going to be ready to run by tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Dave says, I usually get a 12-gallon 1070 OG mash to ferment in 4 to 5 days. Yeah, with, yeah, absolutely.
Ooh.
You're keeping your temperature good, they'll go.
This is a really good question. And I'm not exactly sure how to answer it.
First of all, go ahead. This is my favorite live chat, casual conversation, pick up a lot of good nuggets. Thank you, Rousey. That's exactly what we go for.
You're promoted.
Some funness mixed in with some education.
Absolutely.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. Anarchy Television said, since I don't drink alcohol, how do I know if my hearts are good? So he's asking the question of, I don't drink, and I need to know how would I make my cuts?
So the answer to that, first of all, is, can you not drink, period, nothing? Because if you can just take a sip here and there, it's like, you're not going to get drunk. You're not going to, like, if you can just get a sip, that's one thing. If you're not going to drink at all, then you are basing everything off of smell.
Just numbers and smell.
Or you have a still hand who's doing the tasting for you.
Get you a still hand, one preferably with a good palate.
Yeah, and you can make a lot of decisions by smell, especially after you've done it for a long time. Like I can smell the run, and I don't always have to taste it. And then sometimes there'll be maybe jars where I want to taste it, but I can smell my heads and I can smell my tails. And if you do it enough, you can get to where you can catch it. But to not be able to taste it ever is going to be tough.
And if it's like if it's something too where it was like a past issue for you, or you quit drinking because you were drinking too much or something like that. And I'm not saying that's the case. Some people don't drink for a variety of reasons. Maybe don't make any liquor. I mean, that's kind of a slippery slope. I'd hate for someone just to kind of get into the hobby and start making liquor and kind of feel obligated to start tasting a little bit and get in a bad spot. But for whatever reason it is, you're a grown adult, you make your own decisions. But I'd get you a still hand. That's what I'd do. All right, buddy. Just a buddy that likes to,
someone you can count on,
drink and hang out. And it's probably not too hard to find a guy for help in that situation. You try to move a couch, start calling your buddies and see how many buddies you really have. You start calling your buddies because you need them to drink some moonshine right off the still.
All of a sudden you have a lot more
friends. You got
friends.
a packed house.
Looks like
guys, we're moving couches.
Just kidding about the time.
Yeah, that'll be later. But right now, I can tell you, who's got a truck? Who's got a truck? I got a heavy coffee table across town. I got to go pick up for my wife. Got it off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin has some questions. I'm not sure. I'm missing part of the chat, but it looks like Winsong and Clinton are helping Kevin.
They're helping him out there.
Fixed your mirror image, I see.
How did you do a little playing around with the camera?
I think Rick is talking about the difference between the morning live and this live, because the morning lives are mirrored because I'm using the phone.
Yeah. This is through a much nicer camera and audio, and with another human helping us.
Yeah.
That's why it's
different than the morning live streams.
Better because we got the Atom here. How's that new pooter firing up? Pretty slick? Yeah. Cool. Super excited about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Alan Barker, what live are you getting the questions from? So, Alan, you're on TikTok, and we are streaming to YouTube and TikTok. and all the questions are coming over here on the YouTube channel. If you want to join that live, it is a better experience. We have multiple camera views and full chat. You don't get to see everybody's chat. They can see your chat, but it's still in the clear on YouTube.
Yeah, if you you know, appreciate wherever people are watching from, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, but the absolute, you know, best way to view this thing is on the Still in the Clear YouTube channel or the Homebrew Center YouTube channel. Really, probably the Still in the Clear YouTube channel, just because there's a separate chat on YouTube. You get to see the bulk of all the chats instead of the screen version of the chats, which you can't see either of on TikTok. So never mind. Yeah, Kevin, got a good group of folks here, brother.
MFB is the place to be.
Yeah, Moonshine for Beginners. How many members deep is the Moonshine for Beginners now?
I think there's somewhere around 3,800. I don't remember. I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm sure one of the members can probably throw that number in there.
It's a good, pretty active core in there too.
Very active.
Yeah,
very active. When you consider, if you go to a Facebook Moonshine group and you see 80,000 members in the group and 15 chats per day.
Yeah.
And then you go to the MeWe group at 35, 55 members. Thanks, Clinton. And if I don't look at the chat until like the next day,
just scrolling
there's
way up.
200 and something chats that I've missed. That's how active it is.
I see people in there working out some pretty in-depth issues with each other. Like,
all the time.
Trying to figure out whether it's a still design problem, a mash problem, a ferment that's being weird, or a recipe that needs tweaked, or whatever.
All the way to just really basic questions.
Yeah.
3559, I believe, is what I saw, Cyrus. Yeah, so Clinton put 3555, you put 3559, so about 3,500. And it's always growing.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
I'm about to be doing some more kind of promotion for Moonshine for Beginners here pretty soon, so it's going to kind of, the pace of people joining the group daily is going to pick up a little bit here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think every week we see a few people from the YouTube or Facebook, TikTok, wherever, getting over in there and kind of getting welcomed in. You can even wish Cyrus a happy fake birthday on Moonshine for Beginners.
That's right. Yeah, they're talking about my internet birthday. I put a fake birthday on all my internet applications. So I didn't think that all the way through. The first time I did it was on Facebook. Then I started getting like happy birthdays, like sincere birthday wishes for people, and I kind of felt bad, like,
just consider them
not even my real birthday. No,
that's fine. They're not gonna wish you a happy birthday on your actual birthday.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like you're double dipping.
Yeah. So in fact, I think this is the first year I just kind of came clean about it. You know?
Yeah.
I just didn't ever say anything to anybody, and people wish me happy birthday, and I just say thanks.
I know your actual birthday. Do you want me to share it with everybody?
No. I'd like to keep it off the internet.
Okay. Fair enough. All that hard work, years of hard work, just down the drain.
Yeah, and it wasn't really to trick other people. It's just to trick Facebook. Like, I didn't want Facebook knowing
the CIA.
The CIA. Like, they were after me for a while. You know what I mean?
They'll get you.
The FBI.
They'll get you. You
ATF.
You gotta be fresher than that.
Yeah, Clinton says, and Winsong told me this the other day too, just turn off your display of your birthday, which I didn't even know you could do. But even if you turn it off, Facebook still sees it.
They know it. Old Zuck's up there.
Pamela says, so I tried a mash build of corn and cherry pie. It turned out great. Just a bit of cherry flavor. Now I'm aging with oat chips. I'm curious to see if a reflux will give me less flavor. Pamela, yeah, a reflux will give you less flavor. It will
100%.
give you a cleaner alcohol. That's the trade-off. Clean versus flavor.
Give it a take. The key is finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pamela's kind of new to the group. I've been seeing Pamela jump in here and there. So thanks for jumping in again.
Yes.
Lynn says wash is at 1070 right now after 15 days. So wait 3 days and take another reading. If it is still at 1070, then there's probably an issue. And I'm surprised that it's still at 1070 after 15 days. It probably means you had a very high original gravity. I might ask, if you took an original gravity, what was it? You could have got a solar water heater if you didn't tell everyone. I don't even know what that means. Somebody giving out solar water heaters for birthdays or
I think
something?
they're talking about the cabin water heater.
Still don't know. Lost on that one.
From the morning live.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Boat Repair says, my go-to fake birthday is April 1st, but my friends know my real birthday. Yeah,
That's all.
my fake birthday is Cinco de Mayo. That's the one I chose.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a little fun there.
My birthday is June 5th.
Oh, there you go. New Year's, baby.
I feel like anyone with nefarious intention, they want to know my birthday.
Yeah, it's out there. Yeah. There are software programs that you can find out everything you want to know about somebody now. So
I've seen some pretty scary things on the government working side of stuff. And yeah, let me just be the first to tell you, if you don't already know this, someone somewhere in a room without a search warrant can type your name into a certain software and know everything about you.
yeah.
What's in your bank account, what you spend your money on. That's a clear search is what it's called. Your bank accounts, your known addresses, what you pay property taxes on, the make and year models of your vehicles, anything they want. Which is terrifying. I don't know if that does. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's going to sleep a little less hard tonight, but you know.
Yeah, Windsong and Boat Repair.
It's all.
April 1st. April 1st.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday. Yeah, it is the biggest holiday for her.
Did she get you this year?
She did not. I don't even think she tried. Which, like,
maybe she did, and it's a slow burn.
maybe.
And it's still
like March 29th. I was like, she's not getting me paying attention.
She
and then April 1st came around, and I just didn't even pay. Yeah, she probably could have got me.
I think
she good.
I don't know that she didn't. And it's just maybe. You don't know what's up yet.
She just hadn't been clean about it yet.
Mr. Lopez, what's up, brother?
Truth Talk. Go back to Truth Talker. He asked a question about it.
I got you. Truth Talker. I plan on ordering some grain from you. All I've ran so far is Sugar Shine. What would you recommend for a nice Irish type sipping whiskey? Thanks.
Irish, I mean, as far as the kits that we put together, probably the closest would be the malt whiskey. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, the American malt whiskey kit is probably the closest to what you're after. But it's an American version of a...
Ooh, your mic turned off, Bobo.
Uh-oh, my mic's dead. I'm trying to turn it back on.
Does it work?
That one's on.
Yeah.
All right, I've got my mic back on. We'll see. Oh, no, we're right back off.
Maybe how does it sound, guys, from right here? Like you say something.
How you doing?
Go ahead and put it on. Sounds good. Perfect. All right. Cool.
I've already done the legwork. I'm sorry. I can do these two.
Okay.
Thanks, sure.
Appreciate
you. Right there. All right, we back in business.
Get yourself a yatum, ladies and gentlemen.
Nick Mayberry says, I want to learn to malt corn. Any tips? Yeah, there's a lot of videos out there for malting your own corn. You soak it, you turn it, you put it in a barrel, you turn it, you make sure you keep turning it every day. When it starts to sprout, and when those sprouts are 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, then you stop the malting process, break off all of those. You stop the malting process by spreading it out so that it can dry. And then,
I didn't know people were really malting corn that much.
oh yeah.
I mean, I know the malted barley, the malted rye, the malted wheat, super, super common.
Here's the only reason to malt corn is for malted corn flavor. You get nearly zero diastatic power out of corn, so malted barley can convert the starches on its own grain and pounds of other grain in a mash bill. Corn, you can barely convert the starches of corn after you've malted it. So it doesn't have any diastatic power.
Its own, yeah.
So it's really just for the flavor, which is why people do it.
Why do you got to break those stems off?
I'm not sure, except that I've heard someone say that the stems will give you a bitter flavor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Maybe I was thinking.
And people will like put the corn into like a pillowcase and put it in the dryer, run it in the dryer, and it'll break all the stems off.
Oh, okay. And then you can maybe like screen it or sift it.
Yeah. And you can see the whole process over at Bearded and Board's channel, his YouTube channel. He malts popcorn, and it's the same process whether you're doing popcorn or regular corn.
I had a guy come in here the other day and tell us that he was about to malt a bunch of barley. I was like, cool.
Yeah. I mean, malted barley is so cheap, though, compared to the time you would spend to malt your own barley.
I will rack and run in 3 days. Starting gravity was not recorded due to small ferment container. Okay. Well, then, you'll have to report back to us and let us know how it went. If you join the Moonshine for Beginners, that'd be a good place to do it. If not, you can hop in here next Thursday and let us know. Do you think I'll have an issue if I put a whiskey barrel in my trunk and drive it around for motion? I wouldn't see why not. I mean, it's in your trunk. It's not like you're going to run afoul of any type of open container type. But also, how cool would that court date be? Where like you get cited for open container and the open container is a whiskey barrel? Sick, honestly. So I say just run it. The problem is, you're probably going to have to get it wedged in there, kind of to where it can't move around. You don't want your bung to get knocked out of it and end up with a trunk full of half-aged spirits. Was trying to figure out diastatic power at work the other day. It made my brain hurt.
Yeah, Whiskey Rebel, it's only confusing at the beginning when you're trying to learn it, but once it clicks, it's pretty easy. And I don't know, Whiskey, if you've watched my videos on diastatic power, I try to explain it as simply as I can. But once it clicks, it's not hard to understand. But as a beginner, it can be like, what?
Yeah. It's definitely a rung or two up from one, if you're a beginner and you're trying to grasp diastatic power, just don't worry about it right now. It's not necessary to at the beginning when you're just starting, and once you get to the stage where you're putting a bunch of mash bills together and you're not using enzymes and you're trying to worry about
when you're trying to build your own mash bill, you got to start figuring it out.
I got real Sneaky there, kind of. I don't know why I got so
Why were
loose
you
there.
trying to be sneaky
I
about
got
that?
real loose for a second.
Uncle Moonshine in the house. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, Unc? How are you, brother man? Watched all your videos. They are great. I was just confusing myself. Whiskey Rebel, you sure you watched all of them?
And it's pretty easy to kind of overthink it
There's a
too.
big catalog out there.
Big Ant G216. I'm looking to start. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I can get all info A to Z and parts on your YouTube. You can't get all information A to Z on my YouTube because I haven't put it all there because I don't know it all. The amount of information A to Z is astounding.
It's pretty crazy.
And you can start before you know all that information. There's a very beginner, easy way to start, and that's where you start, and you just kind of learn things as you go. You don't have to worry about killing somebody or making someone go blind and all these other things that people try to make you worry about. It's not a real thing. So just start with the super simple beginner recipe, and there's on my YouTube channel. There's a video there on the website, stillintheclear.com. There's a whole article on how to do that recipe. It's very easy. It's kind of bulletproof. It's very hard to screw up. Tastes great at the end, and it's an easy recipe to get going. And, you know, Clinton has dropped the MeWe.com Moonshine for Beginners group. Go there. That's where you can ask all your questions and get answers. There's no dumb questions. People treat you friendly. And, yeah, join Moonshine for Beginners if you want to start learning this hobby. It's a great place to start.
Get you about a 5-6 gallon bucket, right? Get you, 15 pounds of dextrose and a bag of turbo yeast. Dump it off in there.
That's what we did with this.
Run it the next day or the day after, and just start learning. The best thing you can do when you start trying to learn this vast subject matter that's home distilling is just do it a few times. You're going to run into some stuff you've never thought about because you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know yet.
You don't know what you don't know, right? And then you're going to be running a still one day and not have a tri-clamp locked down, and vapor's going to escape, and the whole room's going to, you're going to run into stuff like that. You can fix it. It's easy. I mean, there's just 10,000 little tiny problems that aren't even really problems. They're just difficulties, and there's only about 2 of them that'll seriously hurt you.
All the dangerous issues in moonshining are very easily mitigated with just diligence and just not like.
Don't get complacent.
It almost takes negligence to really screw something up like that.
You almost have to try. You can drive a car. You can operate a moonshine still, okay?
It's quite a bit easier than driving.
It's a lot easier, I would say.
Yeah.
Last time I was driving my car drinking beers, they got mad at me about it.
Yeah, and there are no laws against drinking and shining, and there's a reason. It's easier than driving.
It's expected.
We're at jar number 7. Already getting some guesses. 114, 111. And honestly, I forgot. I got to check it again. Oh, yeah. You know what? I think I remember.
Ray's right. You can get a Beaver still pretty cheap to learn on before investing too much money to see if you like it. Yeah. There's $300-400 Olympics out there. There's Beaver stills that are a couple $100. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get into it and try and see if this is for you or not.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, though. You make some good liquor your first batch, your second batch, your third batch, you're probably in it for the long haul.
It easily becomes an obsession. That's for certain.
Also, I'd venture to say it's probably the most rewarding hobby that people get into and maintain, right? There's very few of our hobbies that are going to give us anything back, right? I love to golf, and it's a great way to blow off steam. But at the end of the day, I don't really have anything but a suntan to show for it.
Yeah.
I like to go out and fish, right? That's one of my favorite things to do. When I come home and I clean fish, I love that. I got something to show for it, right? There's something to be said about making your own liquor. It's pretty cool. It's pretty bitching because, one, all your friends like it, right? You know, it's pretty easy to give away, enjoy with friends, family. It's also pretty nice to sit at the house after a long day of work, flip on the old tube and have a glass of your choice bourbon, you know.
And tell me if this is if this equates, because I'm not a golfer.
Okay.
If you make a nice shot and somebody goes, "Damn, that was a good shot."
Yeah, it feels
Is that the same as when somebody says, you give somebody a sip of your whiskey and they go, "Damn, you made this"?
No, because there's so much more work that goes to the bourbon, the whiskey. Now it's like, you know, yeah, you hit a nice golf shot and everybody on the tee box or out there at the fairway next scramble partners, whatever, like, damn, struck that one. Yeah, that's cool. That feels good, right? But it's not like you hand a jar to somebody and they go,
You said you made this?
"You made it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So that jar, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw Trickster guessed it, was the first to guess it. Jar number 7 came in at 118.
Listen, I gotta read Joe's. Joe Park said, "I've been running 7 years and blew my cap twice, learning a 3-way valve. Always learning. Old woman can move fast when vinegar is blowing in the air.
Yeah.
Better vinegar than a high proof, you know."
Yeah.
Those of you that are maybe new to TikTok, Facebook, whatever chat you're joining from, Joe Parks is about as good as he that pretty free. Go over to Meat Weed. Yeah, it's really mainly just Meat Weed. You see her, she's running, she's got all these jar thumpers, bypass valves, dropping gears, pulling jars.
Dropping gears.
Man, she's freaking cool. Please tell me you don't yell, "Get off!" No. I go to yell as mashed potatoes. Oh, my mic died. Dead mics. Is your mic still going? The test jar?
My mic's good.
All right.
That at? We charged him up.
Told you we should have shut them off the 15 minutes I was trying to say it. I don't think it would have mattered.
Well, we're going to be getting some new mics anyway.
When I get a compliment on my shot, I'm the kind of guy that thinks I can do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Dig Dug. I'm always happy, right, when it's like good and people like it. I've given wine to family and friends and stuff, and they, you know, they're like, "Oh man, this is really good," and that feels great, right? But the whole time I'm thinking in the back of my head,
Yeah.
I'm glad you like it. You know?
There's been plenty of times someone said, "Oh man, that's good," and in my head I'm like,
Really that good. I've had a lot better. Yeah. And I think there's a big population of people that just, you know, some of them want to be nice, but you can always tell, right? You hand a jar or a bottle of something that's really good to somebody, and you get one of these like, "Oh,
yeah,
man, that's good." And I get, you know, they're kind of dipping back in from seconds. You got to ease the reins up on them, drive the bit a little bit. Hey, whoa, take it easy. This is my good stuff. Apple is all I know right now. Well, Dave, that's a good place to start, man. Apple's super popular for a lot of good reasons. One is pretty easy to get all that flavor to come through, right? You do an apple ferment, whether it's an apple wine or an apple mountain brandy, you're going to get some of that apple flavor coming through. That's why people like it, and it also lends itself pretty nicely to pairing with alcohol, I think, in terms of how the flavors work off each other.
yeah.
So super popular, and I don't think there's a thing wrong with it. If I had to pick one fruit to only run with, it'd probably be apple.
Yeah, Nick did that and just said, just trying to decide which brandy to do first. You should definitely do apple. I think apple is the easiest to do.
Apple, blackberry is a good one. Pineapple's a little bit more difficult. I think pear is a good one, but it's also one that's got a softer flavor. Also, anything melon, it's hard to pull the flavor through. It's just got a lot of water content in it, and it's not super flavorful to begin with most times.
Yeah.
I've never done a strawberry brandy, but I can imagine it'd be another difficult one kind of to play with in terms of the flavor is real delicate. Every time I make a wine with it, I get it to come through pretty nice, but it's a soft flavor. Most people claim that when they run a strawberry wine, they kind of complain about not getting that flavor to come through because it's difficult. Also, use your pectic enzyme if you're not using pectic enzyme. Whether you're making a wine or just to leave it a wine or you're making a mash, that pectic enzyme breaks down those cell walls and does a good job of releasing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do to that precocious flavors.
Oh.
You like that? You guys like that one?
It's a $10 word.
Look at the big brain on Zachary this week.
Whiskey Rebel asks, is Red with Shine Shack okay? Haven't seen him for a while. Yeah, I think he's okay. I don't know. I chatted with him a couple of weeks ago. He's just been really busy. He during hurricane season, he got a bunch of. He was close to the hurricane damage, so he spent a lot of time taking care of his property and family and friends. And he's just been really busy and hadn't been able to content lately. Yeah, he's got a new job too.
I heard he was on the run from the.
Is that what you? Yeah, I mean, it could be.
I made Philbilly's peach in my keg, and I was pleased with how it turned out. And old Philbilly knows a thing or two.
Oh, Philbilly.
Kidding.
He's a good one.
He's
So,
good.
It's
reading the last. We read Whiskey Rebels comments.
He's got good, clean videos like you guys. I watch. Yeah. I mean, he's a little rougher around the edges than we are.
Yeah, we get out there once every once in a while, but yeah, he's we like Philbilly, and I think he's awesome. I like his stuff a lot. Him and Biggie put out some cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you watch a Philbilly video, you
know exactly who Philbilly is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like it.
Winsong says Trickster, butter pecan, cherry amaretto, cherry lime peach. Oh, he's asking what her favorite post.
Butter pecan is very good. The cherry amaretto is also very good. The peach cobbler is also very good. And the only reason I'm saying the cherry lime isn't, I don't think I've had.
I can't wait to bring.
What's going on with that, man? You guys it's like you guys are dangling a carrot out there.
Yeah,
like this,
intentionally.
Right?
That's right.
Ready for this?
Anticipation.
I can't wait to bring it to you.
Anticipation. Yeah.
Zach, I messaged Big Chuck. Thanks, Mark. Yeah.
Arkansas.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you got my phone number. If you don't have my phone number, you should have it. You can send it over to him. Whatever. Just message me after we get done with the live.
Is it just me or is audio breaking up?
Well, we leaned back a little bit, right?
Yeah,
we got a little too far from the.
We are having some mic issues.
When our mic died, we did a bad job of charging this one.
Dave says I might try banana next time. That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Banana can be a tough one, but you can handle it. You can handle it. It just gets really thick and sticky sometimes, and you got to water it down sometimes. And but it is delicious.
What were we talking about? Banana?
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a messy one.
Matt Perry says Philbilly is real Billy, a lot like Trump.
There are some similarities for sure.
Ways, yeah.
I like that he said nanners. Bake the nanners. Make sure the peels are black before you pull them. heard people like using the brown,
That's
brown and
what I
black
did.
bananas. Also, too, they kind of start to caramelize on themselves, and I guess somewhat at a certain point, you know, kind of just ferment in the peel. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, yeah, there's
They got enzyme in them.
monkeys in the wild will wait till they turn brown to get the alcohol. They actually produce alcohol in the wild.
I don't think I want to fight them anymore. I didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know
realize
that
they were so cool.
I didn't know that about them until just now. Until you told me that. Man,
It's a real thing.
I don't have to rethink a lot of previous conversations. Maybe plan somewhat of an apology. I didn't know they were that cool. Thought they were just hurling poop. I didn't know they were drinking and hanging out.
Didn't see those TikTok videos.
Nope. Also, how terrifying would it be to roll through the jungle and just all of a sudden be amongst like a bunch of drunk
Big troop of drunk
dude, just
orangutans.
hammered orangutan playing with you?
Shouting obscenities in a language you can't understand.
Yeah, just yelling at you. I made Mountain Dew Shine for a friend that really liked it. Wants me to make more. Really? I think the idea, I mean, it's definitely something coming up in our future. I thought root beer, Mountain Dew, right? You know, there's all kinds of videos out there, guys doing Coke and, you know, Red Bull. And there's
We saw one today, ketchup.
ketchup. Yeah.
Fermented ketchup.
Who is that? I'd like to
That
shout
was my facial expression.
That sounds like prison.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
What's the term for prison hooch?
Prison hooch.
No, it's someone in the chat. Go ahead and shout it out. No, there's a specific name for it,
I don't.
and it's not what you would expect either. It's like
that because I remember.
it's not
Toilet
it's
wine.
not damn toilet wine. There's an actual name for it. I'm trying to remember it.
There's lots of people saying toilet wine.
Someone Google it real quick.
It's
No,
toilet wine.
no. There's an actual legitimate term for it. Come on, man. Someone help me out with this. There's a lot of smart people in our chat. Someone's gotta have this.
Somebody asked GPT about this.
If you put it in now, I'm gonna assume you Googled it. I'm not gonna give you full credit. I'll give you half credit. Pruno, Whiskey Rebel, hit it. Pruno. Yeah.
Okay, never heard that.
Either. Also, never been to prison.
Yep.
Well, I think at jar number 7 and 118, we are going to finish this tomorrow.
Yep. I think we'll pull this one off
It's
here.
coming up on 8 o'clock.
Well, let's shut it off.
Yeah. We've had a great time. As always, really look forward to Thursdays every week. Just experience with you guys. Love it. And really appreciate you guys out with us. And we're going to see you again. If you are a channel member, we will see you tomorrow morning in the members only live. If you are not a channel member, become a member. We go live every morning, drink coffee together, talk a little bit of behind the scenes stuff that the members get that nobody else gets. They're actually voting now on the new ABV Society logo. And yeah, we do that every morning. If you oh, pardon me.
Sorry, I put that over there for a long time. Maybe fix this up.
Yeah.
Give me the mic.
Whoa.
I got the tuberculosis. You good?
Yep.
So anyway, we hope that you join us in the members only lives that happen every morning, the Rise and Shine as we call them. As always, we appreciate everybody that hangs out with us and talks a little distilling, talks a little bit of everything, honestly, at this point. So, yep, Clinton's got it there in the chat. You guys feel free to hang out and say your goodbyes, but we are going to see you next week.